종기를 받아 거룩한 상록군.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Movie Oblivion, the podcast about feature films based on comic books and comic strips that people have stopped talking about. We're your hosts, Jordan and Kumar. That's me.
And me.
And this week, boy, what a week this week. We are talking about Oldboy.
Oldboy.
From 2003, based on the manga initially from 1997. I think the English edition, I should know, was 2007 or 2004, 5-ish in there. I'll remember at some stage because I was the translator of it.
I'm going to have to ask you some questions that perhaps as a translator you can shed some light on, or at least someone involved in the publication process. I'd also want to jump in now with our first pause of the podcast for a while.
Oh, yes! 100%, yes. I forgot to mention that. This is a pause the podcast.
We're going to spoil the hell out of this movie.
And the comic.
And the comic. But, I mean, frankly, who cares about the comic?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
You did an excellent job translating it. But if you haven't seen this movie and you've been living under a rock and you haven't had it spoiled, pause now and go and watch it.
Yes. Unequivocally. Go watch it. If you really don't care, I mean, this is a very violent, full-on movie. If that's not your kind of thing, then at least go read a spoiler. or maybe you can get the spoiler from us. I don't know. I will say, reading this translation, I haven't read it since I did it.
Right.
It was pretty good. I thought. There was not much that I would change going back now. I was really pretty surprised by it. There was stuff at the time that was very sticky, I remember, like, what's he getting at here exactly?
I can believe it, because it's full of a lot of pseudo-philosophical musing, I would say.
Yes, and also
Seinen
stuff
bullshit.
that's hard to translate,
Right.
and like the villain accuses the protagonists of being hypocrites. I'm not sure what he really meant by that.
No. Good. I'm glad you're not sure, the translator, because I'm sure I'm not sure.
I've always wanted to kind of go back and
read the original Japanese.
Have another crack at it and see if there's maybe I didn't go deep enough in the dictionary, like should have gone to the 4th or 5th entry of whatever word they were using, or,
It is, well, we'll get into that when we talk about the comic, which we are already doing.
Yes. So I did try to schedule this. It seemed like Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice, which came out last year, was going to be a contender for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Not even Best Foreign Picture, Best Picture. And there was a lot of buzz about it, and it didn't get 0 Oscar nominations.
I know. But how disappointing.
So I was kind of trying to schedule something like that. Also, this Oldboy is being reprinted in 2 big hardcover omnibuses by Dark Horse that should be out right around now by the time this recording is released.
I think it might have been nominated for a Golden Globe or something.
Yes, right.
Because there was a trivia question about it in The Age this week.
Okay.
About
No
Park
Other
Chan-wook's
Choice.
No Other Choice, about his latest film. And the manga's being republished. Is that your translation being republished?
Yes, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do you get any residuals for that?
No, in fact, I emailed them. I said, can I make sure I'm on the comps list? And actually, the editor, Chris Warner, who we've talked about before, I think he was maybe the artist on Time Cop or something, or he's somewhere down the line we talked about Chris. Maybe even more than once when doing Dark Horse stuff. He's retired. He retired at some stage. No, so there weren't residuals in the first place. It's page rate.
Yeah.
I've only ever worked for one company that paid, they did like a crowdfunding, and they went over, and then I got a bonus. I was like, what? Are you capitalists? What? How did this happen?
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah, so anyway, that's why I was planning this. So I reread this translation that I did around 2004, 5, 6, whenever it was. Was surprised that it was read pretty smooth. It would be probably pretty similar if I did it today. In fact, it was probably looser than what I would do today in terms of like the gangster dialect kind of stuff. I would probably be a bit more... I wouldn't have leaned into it as much now.
Right, because there's some yas and some
stuff like that.
Apostrophe words.
A lot of apostrophes and stuff that nowadays I'd be like, oh, that's what young people do.
You've become an old boy yourself.
I've become an old boy. I remember translating this. It was a real joy at the time because I was it's really the whole thing is all about the mood. It's about the vibe. The manga series. It's about walking around in the streets of Tokyo, and he was hanging out in all these locations that I had lived in.
Yeah,
like
he
goes to Ikebukuro to play mahjong, and I was like, I lived there. And the writer, I think it wasn't mentioned. It's like she lives in Ozabu. I lived there for a couple of months, and I was really missing Japan at the time. I think I hadn't been here long, and I was like really like homesick for it. And this really hit the right spot, and it's drawn in a way. We haven't mentioned the creators. It's Garon Tsuchiya, and the art is by Nobuaki Minegishi. He doesn't have like his assistants tracing drawings of the city like we've seen in so many manga series. He's done it in a very loose, almost sketchy way to try to capture the atmosphere of these places, like Shinjuku Golden Guy, where he's hanging out at the star all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a real attempt to capture the feel of these places, and that really, really hit me. And sometimes he does do tracings of the cities, but also like he's working from photo reference, obviously. But like these locations, like that square in Kabukicho with all the movie posters up, I was like, I hung out there all the time, and it looks just like that, or maybe it doesn't look like it in the terms of being photorealistic, but it feels like that.
Well, I went to Golden Guy when I was in Japan, 18 months ago or so. And I went and drunk in a bar, exactly like the bar that they're in.
Yes, I hung out in bars like this in Kabukicho and
just like some dive that looked identical.
Absolutely, 6, 7 people in there at most.
Yeah, that's it, maximum.
Yeah.
It happened constantly in the manga. They have to keep getting kicked out of the bar because
people are coming in.
People come in to drink, and there's no room for them to do their shenanigans in there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So it's really got that feel about it, and they're just drinking whiskey nonstop.
Yep.
It's just got all
they
those.
Drink a lot of wild turkey.
Yes, wild turkey.
A lot of wild turkey in this bar called Moondog, which is amusing because there's now a brewery in Melbourne called Moondog.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. So it was kind of a nostalgia trip for me, even at the time. Like I'd just been out of Japan a couple of years, and I was like, "Whoa, this like really is."
Yep. So the city is a big presence in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 1 or 2 questions.
Okay.
Could you tell us about the title?
Great question. It's not in kanji. It is in katakana, Oldboy.
Right.
I think it suggests like stunted maturity, because he's been trapped for 10 years and never had a chance to grow up during those 10 years. Maybe, but that's not the theme of the book at all.
No, it's not.
There's a little subtitle which isn't on there, but
so katakana, you explained that's the language or
it's the writing system they use
to represent foreign words.
Now that's what it's turned into now. Now it's mostly used for bringing in foreign words or sound effects or stuff like that. But almost any time a foreign word is imported, they write it in katakana. So it's just Oldboy, and it's also Ruse Senki, which means loose war diary. Is a little tiny subtitle on there, which indicates how he's taking a laid-back approach to his revenge. He's going at a very slow down pace over these 8 volumes, and it's not only his pace; it's the manga's pace. A lot of hanging around. In fact, as a reader, you can read it at whatever speed you want.
Because it takes place over many months, I would say, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, until it accelerates.
Unlike the film, which it takes place over, I think, over a day, 2 days.
Well, there's definitely 5 days. We get a 5-day time limit.
Yeah.
At one stage.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, yes, that's right. It is.
And then we see the calendar pages actually.
Yes, we do. Oh, in those great transitions. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll get to that. Okay.
What's my other question? Oh, why do you think it was translated into English?
This was after the movie had come out, so the movie had become a hit.
Yeah. So people want to read the manga.
People wanted to. Well, it was and often I'm surprised that see, there's even an ad for the DVD in the back of Volume 1.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That would have been my guess, because I don't think this one was this.
First edition, July 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one would be reading this manga, I think, if it weren't for the film, right?
It's hard to say, but it's interesting that nobody was snapping it up either. Like, I mean, I'm guessing nobody's snapping. I still see stuff now where a movie has come out or something, and like it happened with Our Little Sister.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, there's this Koreeda movie, and I emailed a few publishers like, why don't you publish the manga? And nobody was snapping at it. So I think because everybody was talking about the movie at the time, that's why. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten picked up. I do really like this series, but we'll talk about that.
Oh.
And I like the completely different artistic sensibilities going back and forth, because I mean, I think I saw the movie, or I got the assignment, and then I saw the movie, and was working on the book, and I was like, whoa, these are two completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
Then read it again this week, and I was like, oh, I remember now why I liked this at the time. And then watched the movie again, and I was like, holy cow. And it was just like going back and forth. So I don't think it was I think even if the movie came out was a huge hit, I think a lot of licensors would look at the manga and go, this is nothing like the movie, let's not bother with this license because we can't sell it. I'm very glad that Dark Horse is reprinting this 20 years later. Like almost to the date, 20 years later. But yeah, that must have been, I don't know what was going on behind the scenes at the time. But this was during the boom years of manga publishing as well, where stuff was really coming over, like a lot of stuff was coming over, before the market crashed a couple years after this, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. This is the kind of insider information that people are tuning in for.
Okay, so we start with a guy that's locked in a room. Actually, it starts in a restaurant where an order is being taken.
Yes.
A Chinese restaurant where a delivery has been ordered to this special place.
Yeah, you can't just send any. You can't just send anyone.
You can send a rookie over there.
Yeah.
So in this building, it's this hallway. It's on floor 7.5 of this building.
Yeah. Secret floor.
Secret floor. There's a guy. There's kind of a guard just sitting there reading. He's sitting in a chair reading in front of the elevator that opens.
Yeah.
Elevator opens. We see all these doors. So there's people trapped in here. It's a kind of what they jokingly call a private penitentiary. And we learn much later, and maybe not that much later, that what this is it's a kind of lockup, which is set up by the Yakuza. And it's for people who you have an enemy you want to lock up for a couple of weeks, or a month or something, or you're on the run from the tax man.
It's like a cross between a safe house and a private prison.
Exactly.
But everyone in it is treated the same. So if you go in there for the safe house treatment, you're treated the same as, like the guy that's being, locked up for some other reason.
Yeah.
So that we have a guy, I think at some point we have a guy who's like, he's going stir crazy after he's been in there a week, and he's calling out for a massage or something or other.
Yeah, he says send an escort or something like that. He wants a girl set up.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But he just gets the same as everybody else. He gets Chinese takeout.
Yeah.
Pushed through the door and no one's speaking to him.
Yeah. But we meet this guy who's in there, like, working out, and they get, basically, there's a little bathroom in there, there's a TV and a bed, and that's it.
It's very small. Yeah,
tiny little room. And we learned that he's been in there 10 years.
Which is wild.
Crazy.
This is a hook.
Yeah.
Like, I was invested here. Holy shit, there's been a guy who's been in a room on his own for 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. It's unusual, and later on we see the guy that hires the Yakuza to lock this guy up for 10 years, because usually they're like a couple of weeks or 3 months at the most.
Yeah, they say we'll do you 6 months. 6 months. We do a deal if you're going getting up.
We'll do the abduction for free. We'll throw in the abduction for free.
Yeah.
Basically, they catch these guys and drug them and then drag them up to this place. Yeah. But after 10 years, this guy's being let out. We see that he's been kept himself in shape. They put him in a suitcase, and then they take him out into a park and they dump him, and he's free for the first time in 10 years. Now, he's been watching TV, he's been shadowboxing, And he's just got all his information about the world has come from TV over the last 10 years.
Yes.
But the first thing he wants, he doesn't have much money. He's got, did they leave him with some bills?
Yeah, they leave him with like almost no money. Yeah.
Very little.
Might even have been what he had on him when he was
Right.
Well, that's not clear.
And basically wants to test out his skills, so he walks up to some hoodlums, some teenagers.
Well, I think testing the skills, he needs money.
Yes.
So his idea is that he does there's a name for this particular type of scam. He pretends to be in distress. Like, he pretends to be drunk.
Yeah.
So
that they'll
they'll try to rob him, and then it'll be okay for him to rob them.
Right.
Which is what he does. He beats the tar out of them.
Yeah.
Because he's in incredible shape.
Yeah.
He's because he's spent the whole 10 years doing push-ups.
Yes. Yes, and shadow boxing.
And he loves to watch the boxing.
Yeah.
Is boxing often on television in Japan?
He chose that channel. I don't know.
That's it. There's a boxing channel.
He's an expert on Japanese boxing. He might have had a sports channel. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because he beats the shit out of like the welterweight champion of Japan.
Yeah. Yes, later on, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he's just been watching people box for 10 years and shadow boxing and doing like isometrics, and now he's unbelievably ripped.
Yeah.
I guess fried dumplings there's plenty of protein in fried dumplings.
I guess. But he's not doing much else. Anyway, he gets some money. He goes to this diner.
Yep.
And he meets this girl called Eri.
Yep.
Who decides to take him home.
Yep. She puts a Band-Aid on he's got a cut cheek.
Yeah.
She puts Band-Aid on him, she takes him home.
Yeah. She's automatically sweet on him.
Yeah.
She sleeps with him. Turns out she's a virgin, which she was after. And we think this is some Kazuo Koike kind of business going on here. Just some
Perfect.
There's just some manga business going on. Actually, it's probably a lot of the stuff that annoyed me the most is actually explained or comes into play later on.
It comes into play, yes. Explained, that's dubious. But, well, I mean, it does have an explanation. Yeah. I don't know if I'd call it a credible explanation.
No, but at least the groundwork is laid.
Yeah, I feel like
we'll talk about.
So it does feel like some Kazuo Koike kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People just throw their clothes off and start. At least no one has a huge
She brought this guy. She just met this guy, brought him home, and is like...
And she is too good for this sinful earth. Like, she's drawn so cutely.
Yeah.
She's just really caring and nice. Yeah. And she just really wants to divest herself of her virginity. And she's chosen this guy whose name she doesn't even know. She just calls him Mister.
Yes. I actually think that might be what she's calling him in the movie, too. But we'll talk about that when we get to... Reminded something.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, but they're being watched by this gorilla. This big guy in a suit. He looks like Edward G. Robinson. And he's never named. And in fact, in my scripts, he was always called Edward. Because I didn't have a name for him. Yep. And he looked like Edward G. Robinson.
He doesn't get a name, does he? No, he's like an ex-spook who's been hired by our antagonist.
Yes. He's like he was a former government fixer, basically. He would either cover up scandals or uncover them.
Yeah.
He would uncover dirt on political opponents. He was doing all this kind of stuff. And now he's been recruited by this guy, who paid like 300 million yen to have our hero, whose name we learn later is Goto, locked up for 10 years. Now, we don't know why this guy did it. Nope. This is the central mystery is... Why did this guy lock up this man for 10 years? And Goto, as far doesn't recall having any enemies. No. We know he was working in a small advertising company, making flyers. Mm-hmm. He was a bit of a drunk. He'd become kind of getting into gambling and drinking.
Yep.
But he didn't have any family.
And he didn't have any debts.
No. And he had a friend. What was the friend?
He's the owner of the bar.
Yeah, the owner of the bar, whose name did I write it down somewhere?
It's like Matsumoto or something like that.
Tsukamoto, I think. Yeah, Tsukamoto. So he reveals a story to Eri about how he was locked in this place for 10 years and what he did for those 10 years. And how basically he got all his information through TV. He knows that he's got a tracker in him.
Figures that out a little quickly. Eddie finds a scar on his back.
And then he's like,
she mentions it.
Yeah, that's right. She sees it. Yeah, right. And then she's like, what's
And he
that?
instantly says, you're going to have to cut that open and get a tracking device
Because he saw this stuff on TV. He was like, that's how they put trackers, so get it out of me. So she cuts it out of him.
And sure enough, it's there.
Yeah.
So he gets a job.
Yeah, he gets a construction job.
And he basically just carries around this tracker in his pocket so that whoever's tracking him doesn't know that he's removed it.
Yeah.
And so he will leave it in his bed when he goes out to try and track down who has imprisoned him.
Right. So he knows he's been set free, but his business isn't done.
Oh, he wants to know who the hell did this to him.
Exactly.
And so do I. This is why I'm reading the book.
He also knows that whoever imprisoned him was trying to send him insane or turn him violent. Like, he can sense this. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this at my own pace.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. This is one of the things I don't really like about the book. So he comes out of this, where he's been in lockup, and what would be the first thing you did? Well, first of all, you'd be a gibbering lunatic, because a person can't endure being on their own for 10 years.
Yep.
But in this universe, you can.
Yes, and he figures out early on that his enemy was trying to break him mentally, and he's kind of like mentally determined.
He doesn't. So he's sane. In fact, he's more than sane. He's super sane.
Yeah.
He's sort of like. Have you read *Stars, My Destination* by Alfred Bester?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like Gully Foyle.
Right.
He was a wastrel and rudderless, but having been put in this thing for 10 years, that's the key that's unlocked his implacable will.
Right.
Because now he's super fit and he's going to stop at nothing to find out why he was put in there.
Right.
So far, so good. This is like the Count of Monte Cristo.
Right.
He's going to get revenge.
So he's got his first clue, which is that...
he doesn't... Sorry. But he doesn't go to the cops.
No, he doesn't.
And he's, as you said, he does... Well, I'm not going to be violent.
Yeah. He gave a reason for not going to the cops, but it was a little bit wishy-washy.
It is very wishy-washy. He says, basically, he doesn't want to... It doesn't make any sense. He just sort of says, I'll be a celebrity for a week or two, and then everyone will forget about me. I don't want to go through that.
Right.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Don't you want revenge?
Yeah. He could have gone to the cops, absolutely, and he doesn't.
It's a bit contrived.
The movie has a bit of a
much better explanation.
But then it also undoes its own explanation in the movie, which we'll talk about. But he has a clue. I think
it serves its purpose because in the movie, we'll get to it.
He has a clue, which is that one day they accidentally left like a bit of a receipt from the Chinese food place in the bottom of his noodles.
Yep.
And it had Blue Dragon on it. So he knows there's a restaurant called Blue Dragon that they were always getting their food from. And he looks it up. There's like 8 of them in Tokyo.
Yep.
They go to all of them, and he's like, I'm going to know what the dumplings...
They go to them all in one night.
Yeah.
He leaves his tracking device in his bed.
Yeah.
In the dormitory he lives in near the construction site where he works.
Yeah.
And he and Eddie go to 8 Chinese restaurants, but unfortunately none of them have the dumplings that he recognizes.
Yes.
And he will recognize them because he ate nothing but these dumplings for 10 years.
He's like, I'm going to know which ones taste exactly... So, but then they figure out, well, actually it was torn, and it was actually like Purple Dragon.
Right. It needed an extra letter.
So he goes to that one.
Ideogram.
And he kind of hangs out and waits until he sees an unusual order, somebody come to pick up an unusual delivery.
Yeah.
And he follows this delivery, and he finds the building. But he goes in, he's like, can't find this floor. He goes, checks out a couple of floors, and they're just normal. He's like, this isn't... Something weird's going on here. So then he goes back and waits until a gangster gets in the elevator, and he acts like a gangster. And gets in, he says, I'm going to the same floor as you, bro. And he goes up there and he beats up...
Well, it's revealed that you need to press buttons 7 and 8.
Yeah.
I assume it's at the same time, because I'm sure people would press 7 and 8.
Oh, yeah, it has to be at the same time, yeah. Yeah. Which I think was the same way you get to the secret floor in Being John Malkovich.
By pressing 2 buttons at the same time.
Or, oh no, you had to stop it somehow.
Does an elevator recognize when you're pressing...
Well, it's been secretly built this way.
Alright, yeah.
And so, this was all done back during the boom era, when, like, building codes were lax.
Oh yeah, they mentioned a specific Japanese Prime Minister, don't they?
Yeah. And, like, at the time they
I looked up. The only Japanese Prime Minister to have never graduated high school.
Oh, interesting. That's part of this whole thing too. Is there's a lot of talk about the bubble years in the 80s, and that affects all of the things that kind of happen in this series.
Sort of.
to a degree. Anyway, so he comes in there, he beats these guys up, he's trying to find information about who had him locked up. This guy's not really giving up much information. But then, like, the other gangsters show up, he evades them. He meets the guy that's been following him, Edward. There's a great... I really enjoy the confrontation where he actually knocks on the window of his car. And then Edward is forced to reveal to his boss that he's been caught.
And we feel so far so good, because it's exciting. He's tracking him down, the guy that did this to him. He's turned the tables.
Yeah, he has to.
Because he's snuck up on the guy who was following him and forced him to speak to his boss. But then, like, it's like the car's been booby-trapped.
Yeah, he triggers basically an airbag, which knocks him out, Edward knocks Goto out.
And then he sprays him with magic knockout spray.
That's right.
Which happens a lot.
Yes.
Everyone's got magic knockouts. Our villains have magic knockout spray.
Yes. And he wakes up in a hotel with a naked prostitute next to him.
Kazuo Koike stuff.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't sleep with her. Although we do get a very... We can't go through the whole way volumes come up.
No.
But we do have a very kind of like... It felt like a Crying Freeman moment later, where later he goes to live in this bar, the Moondog Bar in Golden Guy. And... Because he thinks he's evaded his... he thinks he's evaded his enemy. Alias Dojima. But he hasn't, because he had a tracker in his shoe. But anyway, I think Dojima sends, calls him in the bar, and then sends, again, another call girl to him, and she gives him some information.
Yeah, she takes him to meet the boss of the Yakuza gang that runs the lockup. They knock him out and take him to this place, but then when she brings him back to the bar, she's says, like, I have another piece of information, but hypnotically locked, and it won't be unlocked unless you make me orgasm.
Yeah,
it's so Koike.
Yeah,
and I thought this is the other one. I thought this is really ridiculous, but actually, it's good that it's in there because Volume 3 lays the groundwork for the hypnosis plot lines that come up in Volume 7 and 8. Because without that, it would just be too sudden to suddenly say in Volume 7 and 8, well, actually, there was all this hypnosis going on.
Yeah, look, I agree. It is laying the groundwork. So I'll give it points for that. As to whether or not... So just in this universe, hypnosis works.
Yes, and look, I mean, yes.
This is a different universe where hypnosis it can do anything.
I agree. You know what? Look, it made me think of one of my favorite books is The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. And that has one of the major plot reveals at the end of the book is that, this happened because of hypnosis. I'm like, well, that's
not how hypnosis works.
But he believed that's how it works, and I think Garon Tsuchiya believes it. You can just walk up to someone and hypnotize, swing a watch in front of them and hypnotize them. And in fact, she says, the hypnotist says, he had a weak mind, so I was able to do that to that guy.
He was a good candidate for hypnosis.
Yeah.
So the idea is that this call girl, she said, you have to have sex with me, and I will only, I've been given a post-hypnotic suggestion to blurt out the next clue when I come.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, he does it. And it's all very Crying Freeman. And reading this bit, I thought, this is mind games, because that's not how hypnosis works. So
no, and in fact, it's even crazier. Before that, they knocked him out because of something he drank, and he's like, "Why did I choose that scotch?"
Oh yeah,
and she's like, "Well, I thought about it."
Yeah, that's right. She just thought really hard about the one she wanted him to drink. She thought
really hard, like a psychic, and it was enough. Maybe she looked at it.
Actually, there's a lot of that kind of thing because the villain, Dojima. I'm not going to try to say his real name, which is kind of like
Kakinuma. Kakinuma. Yeah. Anyway.
Takaki Kakinuma.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. He's Dojima.
Yeah.
Okay, so he himself has some kind of mind power.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Close to it. Yeah. Yeah.
They call it intuition, but he has some kind of superhuman ability.
Yes. Yeah.
Because first of all, he made his fortune from nothing with his superhuman ability.
That's right. He's able to kind of predict the markets.
He can predict the future. And also, he finds Eddie when he...
Yeah, so Eri is later in the book when Dojima's onto them and is threatening to murder Goto's friends.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we have to take Eri into hiding. And this other character, we'll get to her soon, the Yayoi Kusama, the
Who is also their former teacher.
grade 6 teacher. She's like, okay, I know a place we can hide her. And they hide her in this billiards hall. She lives and works here for a while.
It's like a billiards hall for pensioners?
No, I think the old people just hang out there.
They just frequent it.
When we get to ping pong, when we do that movie, you'll see this ping pong hall is just old people. It's just a kind of trope in Japanese fiction. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's really like that at these places.
Cool.
Anyway, so they basically go through her file. She's a novelist. She's writing a novel. Dojima reads her novel, and through some sort of like intuition about the things she says in her novel, he's able to figure out what neighborhood.
It's a superhuman ability.
He's hiding, and also
because we're told that this is explicitly how he made his fortune because of this ability.
And also when he was in grade 6 and the teacher was in her class, he gave her a look that said, I know you're trying to do such a good job because your marriage is falling apart.
Yeah.
This is a look.
Yeah.
And she looked at him and thought, there's something dark in this kid. He should get hit. He should die.
I want this kid to get hit by a car.
And then that night,
he throws a cinder block at her.
He drops a cinder block off the roof at her.
And just misses it.
So he sensed that what she was thinking in that moment.
So he's like Damien from The Omen, basically.
Yeah, it's suggested that he's very, he can just he's just this intense about reading expressions or some whatever. Okay, so so he goes to meet his old friend Tsukamoto, who's running this bar. He basically ends up living in the bar, sleeping on the floor, running the bar some nights.
Yep.
As a place to stay. Tsukamoto never finds out about the lockup and all that stuff. He never learns about this side.
Share that with
we
him.
do get some stuff about how he was once engaged before he disappeared.
Yep.
Some business like that. Dojima finally presents himself at the bar.
Yeah, he just shows up.
He just shows up. He's like trying to kind of up the stakes
Yeah.
of this game. And he also finally provides a clue through this woman, the prostitute, that we get this post-hypnotic suggestion from, that it was something in their youth. And he goes back and looks through his old...
Their high school specifically. Or their... He said the schooling. First of all, he thinks it might be high school, but then he finds out that it's grade school.
Right. And we're revealed over, these conversations with Eri and other people that Goto thought he had kind of a dark side himself, which he suppressed.
Yeah.
And
right.
Later on, it does come out when he starts drinking too much and gambling and stuff. Like, that was the side of him that he was trying to live an absolutely normal life to prevent this side, which maybe was much worse than the drinking and gambling, from coming out. He gets a clue from another kind of referee character that shows up that's been hired by Dojima, which is that you need to look up your old teacher, Mrs. Kurata, who now is a crime novelist named Yayoi Kusama. So they're trying to figure out, basically the rest of the book, like, well, something happened and through more encounters with Dojima, he reveals there was some incident which scarred him specifically.
Yeah, Dojima, that is. He has some reason for hating Goto, and he's basically he tells Goto, this is Dojima, he says, look, we're going to play a game, right? If you can figure out why I locked you up by the end of the month or what have you, then I'll shoot myself.
He says, I'll kill myself in a way that nobody will know how it happened, which is not what he does.
Which is not what he does, thank you. But he says, but if you can't figure it out, if you don't remember, then I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
You have to let me kill you. And if you don't agree to this deal, I'll kill all the people left that you care about. And to back up that threat, I think he puts Tsukamoto, he fakes his death.
Yeah.
There's just always... Dojima is never not in control of the situation.
Yes. Well, sometimes...
And he's always playing mind games. After Goto is confided in his old grade 6 teacher, Dojima just takes him to her house to show him that her house is incredibly opulent, and then phones her from his phone, and then she recognizes his voice. And the only reason he does that is just to mess with him.
Yeah.
Because then Goto decides he can't trust the teacher. But he goes and sees her, and then they both figure out that Dojima has been playing her as well by dressing up as an old woman.
Yep.
and offering her a massive advance, 150 million yen advance on her next novel, which she has spent on an expensive condo. He couldn't have known she was going to do... Well, he did know because he has psychic powers. But, like... And also, there's... The only reason he... Like, so he gave her all this money, why?
Well, he was
just so he could play mind games with Goto.
Yes, she is a pawn in his game.
She had to hope that she would do exactly that, so that he could then show Goto her in her apartment, which is much more richer than she should have.
But he blames her as well. He hates her as well.
But it's all dealt with in a couple of... It's all dealt with by the next chapter. You know, it's just... He's just messing with him constantly.
She's another person that he hates. She's another person that he considers a hypocrite.
Yeah, he didn't lock her up for 10 years.
No, he didn't. He has a specific issue with Goto.
Yeah.
But we learn... And so he finally, Goto remembers... He spends a night on the beach and he's like, oh, something in the music room. That was the one place where you, Miss Kusama, weren't there.
Yeah.
Something happened there, but I don't know what it was. I can't. He's got a mental block. He's got a mental block.
Yeah.
Or, as Dojima accuses him in the end, you just forgot. Which I think is also very possible. I can't remember anything that happened in grade 6.
Of course it's what happened.
Yeah.
Of course it's what happened. Because it's so stupid.
But that's also part of what he hates about, what Dojima hates about Goto, is that he just forgot about this thing, which was very
It's the most traumatic moment of his whole life.
I don't even know if it was the most traumatic moment of his life, because what happens is he gets super, super rich in the 80s during the bubble period.
Yep.
He gets ridiculously rich, and then he's like, he describes it, he's like, well, what next? And then he goes back in his memory, he's like, actually, there's somebody I hate. And he almost takes revenge on him just as something to do, so he can feel something. Because he's kind of reached the pinnacle of his life and there's nothing left. He's like, you know what, I'm going to get revenge on that guy that I hated for a long time. Because he'd almost kind of forgotten about him.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't think it's very clear why he... Because we do get a lot of chatter from various characters.
Yeah.
From Dojima, from Goto, and from the teacher.
Yeah.
They all say a lot of things. Full credit to the translator. But a lot of what they're saying doesn't seem consistent from volume to volume.
Yes.
And a lot of it just seems like gibberish. And it's not at all clear why...
I'll jump way ahead and say, I think this kind of a plot and the reveal that we'll get, which we'll get to, of why Dojima hates Goto, would work great in a prose novel telling the same story. We could really go a lot deeper into these things.
For sure.
And have these kinds of alternate explanations through chapters and chapters. Yeah. I think it would maybe hold together tighter in prose than it does. Somehow this manga, which I love the way it's drawn, is not enough to convey. It's almost not the right medium for this specific story. Yeah. I think this needed to be a Kusama novel. Whatever kinds of novels she's writing, it seems like it's something like that. But basically his henchman, the gorilla, the Secret Service guy,
flips on him.
He flips. He gets sick of this guy.
It's not really clear why he flips.
Well, he is sick of this guy's immorality. And his constant gaming with Goto. By the way, Goto, I mean, Dojima is on top of it, but Goto does find ways to get out of it. Like, he found that tracker. He sent a telephone. A homeless man shows up and shows up at Moondog and gives a cell phone to Goto, and Goto throws it away.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to play at his pace. I'm going to go at my own pace. Basically, at the time that the gorilla shows up, Edward shows up, flips. Meanwhile, Dojima comes to Goto and says 7-day time limit. Let's finish this. We'll live together in a hotel for a week. You try to remember what you did to me.
But then he just leaves anyway.
That's right. He does end up leaving anyway.
Again, it doesn't go anywhere.
That one doesn't go anywhere for sure. But the gorilla reveals that Dojima told him to hire this prostitute and take her to a certain hypnotist and get hypnotized. And he's like, I think the same thing happened to Eri. This is a great twist, by the way. I love and I'd kind of forgotten that Eri had been a wild card, because all the time, they moved her to another location after Dojima figures out she's at the billiards place. They move her on this farm, and this guy's like, you got to watch out for her. She's not safe. I think she's been hypnotized. And also think Goto's been hypnotized. So they go to meet this hypnotist, who's another Kazuo Koike character.
Yeah. She's a vampish, sexually predatory lesbian.
Yes, lipstick lesbian. She's coming on to Kusama, sort of.
Kusama the teacher, yep.
Yeah, and she reveals that she hypnotized...
She's like Zatanna. She's got a stage show where she dresses up like Zatanna.
Yes, yes, 100%. And she reveals that, she hypnotized Goto three times, and Eri hypnotized her. But she also reveals there was one time when she left the room for 5 minutes, was told to leave the room, and let somebody else come in.
And plant a post-hypnotic suggestion in
Dojima's assistant. His secretary. And she does not know, the hypnotist does not know what happened in those 5 minutes.
So she then hypnotizes Eri again to find out what Kyoko implanted in her in that 5 minutes, and Eri asks for the passcode, like she's a locked computer or something. Yeah. Like, how does hypnosis work in this universe?
It works like this. She needs a password to be unlocked, just like the other lady needed the orgasm to be unlocked.
Yeah, but the hypnotist can't undo her own hypnotism without.
Well, it wasn't her. Passcode. It wasn't her hypnotism.
But she's the one that hypnotized her.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because hypnosis works in this universe.
Yes.
So, anyway, So I admit I had Eri pegged as a plant, but I didn't realize that she'd been hypnotized though.
Right. So
because I thought that original hypnosis encounter was just Dojima playing mind games, forcing him to have sex with a stranger for yucks.
Right.
Which is essentially what he's doing anyway.
Right. So basically, they take the hypnotist to Eri and. She hypnotizes Goto to try to figure out, to unlock what happened in grade 6 in the music room.
Yes.
Which he doesn't remember.
Again. So he's been to the beach. He's looked at his...
well, he does. He sort of remembers
He's looked at his yearbooks, he's spoken to the teacher, he's gone to the beach, and now he's been hypnotized, and he still hasn't remembered, and it's
not quite, but he's almost there. He gets more, because...
It's getting pretty drawn out at this point.
What he figures out, this is the second to last chapter, is he figures out that they had to sing a song as a trial for the school chorus contest or whatever.
Yeah.
And Kakinuma, Dojima, was an outcast. Everybody thought he was this weird kid. He had just transferred to the school, and everybody avoided him. The only people that kind of were fascinated by him were Kusama and Goto.
Yes.
And Goto heard the song, and he was moved by his singing. He could sense the kid's loneliness. This is the thing that humiliated him as a kid. He was ashamed of... He could sense that Goto was moved by it. This was very shameful for him. Anyway, the other thing is, so we find out that Eri was hypnotized, and he was hypnotized. He was hypnotized to go to that particular diner, and they were hypnotized
to fall in love, specifically. So hypnosis can force you to fall in love in this universe.
Yes. But it explained that all the virginity stuff, which just seemed like macho manga nonsense initially, seinen nonsense, is actually was there for a story purpose. It was plotted out. Okay, he goes to confront Dojima at the hotel, and he says, "I was moved by your singing. That's the reason I win the game." Dojima's like, "No, that wasn't it. Actually, you were moved, but you cried. You actually shed tears."
Yes.
And that was the most humiliating part.
That you shed tears.
There was a physical thing that
singing,
you could...
And you forgot about it. And I'm so offended by that. So then, Goto's lost? But I mean, has he... He tells Goto he's lost because he didn't remember that he cried.
Right.
He just remembered that he was moved.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you could let that one through to the keeper.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because Dojima then shoots himself anyway.
Yes.
For reasons that aren't super clear to me.
Well, I think he lost. Effectively, I think he knew he lost, and his life's purpose was done. I mean, he had everything. He had all the money, and then when he had all the money, he's like, "What's next? I'll get revenge on this guy." And then now his revenge is done. Oh, that's not the end. No. There's a great finale.
I didn't like that.
You didn't like it?
No, I did like it because I didn't like it. Yeah, because it's a great little twist.
There's a button at the end, which is that they never figured out what was in that 5 minutes. It ends with this moment where they get it seems like it's 5 years later, and Goto and Eri are living together.
Yep.
Maybe even have a kid. She calls him Dad. We don't know if it's a joke or if they really have a kid or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to something strange in the mail. They open it up. It's a music box. It triggers, and her eyes go all weird, and she jumps out the window to her death.
Yeah.
And then
he wakes up.
He wakes up in bed. It was a nightmare because they don't know.
He says
they never know what was in
the last line of the manga is like the game's still going.
Yes, this game is not over. Will never be done, or something like that, until they find out what this is. There's no way to know what was in this 5 minutes because I think the secretary went overseas. They can't track her down.
To Spain.
Yeah,
beyond even Gorilla's reach.
Yes,
apparently.
Yeah, he can't just go to Spain and track her down. How's he going to do that? He doesn't have.
He's a former government spy.
He doesn't have any contacts there or anything.
I guess not.
I did love that little epilogue.
I
think he...
I found it stomach churning, like in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I think Dojima lost and killed himself, but he actually had the last laugh.
Because of this secret
5 minute, which we don't know what it will do. We don't know if that's going to make her kill herself or kill him or what. Kill her kids.
Hypnosis can make you do anything.
We have no idea.
Make her laugh at him in his most vulnerable moment, or cry in his most vulnerable moment.
Yeah. Okay. So, shall we move to this movie? 2003.
Let's go into this movie.
All right.
I cannot wait to talk about this movie.
Stone Cold classic. I did see it, as I said, probably a couple of years after it came out.
Right. I had never seen it before this week.
Wow, okay.
Somehow I'm sort of vaguely aware of it, but I knew nothing about it. Nothing about anything about it. So what happens in it was 100% new to me.
Right.
Even after reading the Oldboy manga, what happens in the film is completely new to me.
Yes.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah. Okay, so we open in medias res. We get this guy, this very disheveled-looking guy, holding another man, who's holding a poodle. Off the edge of a building by his necktie, as if he's about to drop this guy, as if this guy's a bad guy that he's going to drop off the building. But he's like, I want to tell you my story.
Yep.
And now we have a flashback where this disheveled guy is telling a story. We see a very drunk man, hugely drunk, like Japanese level drunk, in a police station where he's been taken in.
And he's just ranting and raving.
He's singing, dancing, keeps trying to piss in a corner of the
That's so funny.
Of the police station. So funny, he reveals that it's his daughter's birthday.
Yep, he's bought her a pair of wings.
Which I didn't notice until the third time through the movie, that he's got these wings on, he's trying to flap them in this scene. These kids he sings this little song, then his friend shows up.
Bails him out,
basically take him home. I'll take care of him. Mm-hmm. He flips him the bird one last time before they walk out. They go to a phone booth. He calls home. He talks to his daughter. He says, I got you a present. And his friend goes into the booth to talk to the wife on the phone. And while his back is turned, there's a purple umbrella. It's raining heavily.
Yes.
And he's disappeared.
He vanishes.
This guy whose name is...
The wings are left on the ground.
Odesu. Odesu has disappeared. Our main character. Okay, and then we cut to... There's a lot of... all the credits have all these clocks and stuff. These clocks and calendars and time just come up again and again.
It's great.
And
this is such a stylish movie.
Oh, every shot of this movie is incredible.
Yeah.
The composition of every frame of it is... unbelievable. We get Odesu shoving his head through this
slot.
The slot in the bottom of the door, which is how it's set up in the manga too. It's like a prison slot where they shove through the food. And he's in a cell. He's like, let me go. And we learn at this point he's been in there 3-4 months. 3-4 months.
Yep.
When he's begging to talk to this guy, he's going.
It's like, just talk to me. I won't ask you to let me out again.
Yeah.
Just talk to me. Tell me why I'm here, please, or tell me how long I have to go. When are you going to let me out?
Yeah.
No, they don't speak to him. They just kick him off.
No.
No one speaks to anybody in these cells. We then see him absolutely freaking out.
Yep.
Inside, he's in it looks like a hotel room, but a really crap one.
Yes. There's a poster on the wall of this weird monster-looking creature, which looks just like him.
Hilariously. The character, Odesu, has an amazing hairstyle.
Yeah.
I think it's on all the posters. He looks kind of like a lion.
Yeah.
Like a lion that's been chewed on.
Yeah. Yeah.
His clothes are very stylish.
Yeah.
Because he wears the same outfit as the villain, who's very rich, as he was in the manga.
Yeah.
But time has ravaged him. His time in the room has ravaged him. He's got this, like, you've never seen a hairstyle like it on an Asian person.
Yeah.
It looks...
Yeah. And it's only been a few
It's like
months.
he's had a perm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that poster on the wall is actually a painting.
Right.
By, I think, a Belgian artist from 1891.
Okay.
It's a painting of the Christ. It's called Man of Sorrows.
Huh.
It's Christ wearing I think a mole mask.
Okay.
Like from Japanese theatre.
Right. Huh. But it has a message on it which is laugh and the world laughs with you, crying you cry alone for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
In Korean.
Yeah.
And he has this crazy grin on his face as he reads it. He's trying to laugh, and he thinks the world will
grimace,
laugh.
and he tilts his head to one side. He does this grimace.
Yeah.
Then like a tinny tune starts up, and gas starts coming out of
This
pipes.
means when that comes out, that means they're going to put you to sleep. And when this happens, then the guys come in, they drug him, they clean his room. While it's going on, they cut his hair.
Give him a haircut.
While he's knocked out. He is hallucinating about ants coming out of his skin and crawling all over him.
Yes. We see, unlike in the manga, we see a lot of his life in the...
Oh, yeah.
We get, this whole sequence is just him in the room.
Yes. And we get the voiceover because we've had this introductory scene where he's explaining.
He's explaining what is going on.
Yes. And he's tried to kill himself a bunch of times.
Yep.
But they come in and drag him out and patch him up.
Yep. He tries to slit his wrists.
On the news, he hears that his wife has been murdered, and it looks like he did it. His blood was found.
We get a scene where they take his blood when he's knocked out.
Yeah.
They take a glass that he's been using, so they leave that at the scene. Leave his blood in a glass with fingerprints on it at the scene. So he has now... he's now wanted for murder.
Yes.
And he has no expression on his face when he's watching this. It's really...
Yes.
It's really something.
And also, he talks about, much like in the manga, he talks about how, he says, if you ever meet a man with a purple umbrella in the rain, look to the TV, or something. It's a very strange line. But he's like, he gets everything from TV. He sees the boxing. He learns to box. He has sex, basically. He masturbates while touching this girl on the screen. By the way, the song that this woman is singing, that he's masturbating to, is the same song that Mido sings in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get to this later on.
It's... he's
keeping elaborate notebooks. He writes down a list of everybody might have heard. We learn a bit later, that he was a womanizer.
Yeah.
So he's got hundreds of enemies. There's an amazing scene when he gets on the phone with his kidnapper. Later in the movie, he's like, "Do you know who I am?" And he lists off and rattles off all these names.
A whole bunch of names.
Yeah, unlike the manga
he's been
where
thinking
there's
about it.
Yeah.
He's been thinking about it. He's been in jail. He spends more time in the room than Goto does. He spends 15
This is a very
years.
key point.
Yes, it is.
Difference in the movie.
Much more key.
And it's not just a random screenwriter saying 15 instead of 10. This is key plot point.
It's utterly key. He draws a figure of a man on the wall that he boxes.
Yes.
He beats... He strikes the wall constantly with his hands.
Yeah.
And these are like cement walls. So this film's got a lot of hands in it. Hey, we see hands all the time. I actually saw an interview with the director where they ask him, what's the deal with the hands? And he has an explanation, two explanations.
Okay.
I'll give you the second explanation now. The second explanation was that his previous film had a lot of pictures of feet in it, and he wanted to do hands this time. His hands have huge calluses over the knuckles.
Yeah. Yeah.
We see them again and again.
Yeah. By the way, also, I think they must have shut down production because he is in better shape at the end. Then that first boxing scene, you can see how flabby he is.
I can explain it. Well, what happened is he got in great shape for the film.
Yeah.
Lost 20 pounds. Got really fit. Then he put it all back on again to shoot the first scene.
Right. Got it. Okay.
The drunk scene.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, hypnotist comes into the room. Oh, by the way, great montage for the passage of time from the news.
Yeah.
We get the death of Diana, the Hong Kong handover,
Yep.
all this kind of stuff, all these scandals that would have been like big news on like Korean news, like politicians changing of prime ministers, things like this. Really a great sequence.
Yes, it is. It's excellent. The
He's
room, the
tattooing
space
himself.
he's into. Yeah, he tattoos himself for every year, so he has 15 tattoos on his hand,
Yeah.
on his like his forearms.
Yeah.
He has a chopstick. One time they give him 3 chopsticks by accident, so he's able to hide it.
Right.
Because normally they would take the chopsticks as soon as they drug him and take the chopsticks or whatever it is they do. He uses that to try and escape, Count of Monte Cristo style.
Yes, but they're monitoring these rooms all the time, so they're seeing him.
They're just letting him do it.
They just don't care.
They just let him do it and they don't care.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he breaks... It seems
It's
like
real-
as soon as he breaks free...
It's real O'Brien, Winston Smith kind of stuff. Like, just let him do it.
Yeah.
We'll get
That's
him in
right.
the end.
That's right. Yeah. And in fact, he breaks through the wall...
Yeah.
And then they release him, and it seems like it maybe seems at first that they released him because he was about to break out, but of course that's not. As we find out, that's not the case.
They bring in a hypnotist.
I just want to briefly talk about the room he's in. It's really kind of like a nice nightmarish space because of that poster on the wall, and also the walls are kind of red and have a geometric kind of pattern on them. There's a lot of kind of patterns.
Yeah.
There will often be patterns in this movie. I saw a quote from the director where it was originally a thing that they wanted to set up. They wanted to have him stare at the patterns fixedly for like days on end until they became 3-dimensional and he walked through them.
Right.
But it was beyond their technical ability to do it.
Okay.
But that's why it has that strange geometric pattern on the wallpaper.
Well, there's a pattern on the purple umbrella.
Yes.
And the sister's dress.
Yes.
The purple dress, which I think is also key.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so this hypnotist shows up. Minute 17. I like that they're laying the groundwork for this.
Yeah.
Right? So she comes in and she hypnotizes him, says you're in a field. He wakes up in a suitcase on, it seems like a grassy field. It's not. It's actually a roof of this building.
Where there's grass. So grass is growing on the roof of this building.
And we see the guy with the dog, and he's actually a jumper. He's gonna commit suicide by jumping off this building. He's not a gangster that we thought Goto was trying to kill or whatever.
No. Yeah, that's right. So it's a complete bait and switch. Orisu has this amazing... He behaves in this incredible way when he gets out of the suitcase. In the manga, Goto just kind of does the Shawshank Redemption pose.
Yeah.
Arms akimbo.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm free.
Yes.
Free at last. Orisu instead kind of acts a bit like a monkey.
Well,
It's great.
he's in contact with another human being. This guy's going to jump. And he goes up and
brilliant.
starts sniffing him, smelling him, touching him.
It's amazing. It's so...
Contact with another human being for the first time in 15 years.
Yeah, you...
Effectively.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. First of all, he's like... He can barely handle where he is,
Yes.
that he's outside.
Yeah.
He can barely cope with it.
Yeah.
Then the guy, speaks to him. He looks at him like he's not real.
Yeah.
He goes up to him and he... As you said, he's touching him all over. He's smelling him. It's so great.
Yeah.
Because, you permitted digression. I've already touched on it, but human beings need contact with other human beings the same way we need sleep.
Yeah.
Or food. You and I are solitary people.
Yeah.
Watching this, you might be tempted to think...
I could live in that room for 15 years.
I could handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had a book.
Yeah.
A book or two. No. No.
Yeah.
It's the cruelest punishment there is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easier to withstand torture than it is to survive prolonged isolation. So the way he's behaving makes... he's literally regressed almost to a more primitive state.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
By the way, this guy and the girl he meets later, Mido, ask him why does he sound so weird. I had to look this up.
Yeah.
Apparently he's not using the right stems at the end of sentences when addressing people.
Oh.
It says he's talking to himself whenever he speaks.
Really?
Yeah. He's not addressing people correctly.
He's not using the right kind of tags.
That's
that you
right,
would put
exactly.
On. Right.
So yeah, this guy was going to jump, and he saved him because he wanted to tell someone.
He had to tell someone.
He needed to unload. And he tells this guy, and he starts walking away, and the guy's like, well, I want to tell you my story now. and Odetsu's just like, no, he just walks away. He doesn't turn back to listen to this jumper's story. Great scene next where he's in the elevator going down to the bottom building. There's a woman in there, and he's
terrified,
splattered on the other in the corner, like
so good.
Can't handle it.
Either he's frightened or utterly overwhelmed.
Yes. To
be near a woman again after 15 years.
Both. But he does steal a woman's glasses once he gets to the outside, and then the jumper lands on a car as he's walking past. He can't go to the police because he's a fugitive, he says.
That's right.
However, later there's a line that says he's passed the statute of limitations.
It's done its job by that point. The purpose here is to stop him from going to the police straight away.
All right.
Because later on, he's already entered in the game.
Yeah.
Here, I like this. This to me is so much better.
I do like it, but why have is the statute of limitations on murder 15 years in Korea?
No.
Well, why have that in there at all?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a really necessary... Maybe so that we know why he's living free at the end of the film.
Oh.
Because he is living free at the end of the film.
Got it. Okay.
But here it serves a very important purpose, which is to stop him from going to the authorities.
Yes, right.
Or even going to a hospital.
Yeah.
To get him, because they would find out who he was. It's so much better than whatever wishy-washy explanation we got in the manga. One of many improvements that this film makes, one of many questions I asked reading the manga that this film answers.
He beats up some punks.
Yep.
Just to test his skills.
He just does it for fun. He like takes a... he literally says that. Unlike the Wounded Gazelle Gambit, this time he just does it because he wants to see if, like, was all this stuff I was doing in the hotel room, was there a point?
Yeah.
Will it work in real life?
Yeah.
It does. It's great. He beats the hell out of these delinquents, robs them.
Then a homeless man shows up and gives him a cell phone and a wallet full of money.
He goes to a restaurant and stares at, is it a lobster in a tank or something?
Yeah, something like that.
And then, as you say, a homeless man comes, finds him at this restaurant, gives him a wallet full of money and a phone, and says to him, I don't know anything. Yeah. And then leaves.
This is what happens in the manga, by the way. It's the same way.
Yep.
The guy shows up in Moondog. In fact, the homeless man looks similar to the guy.
He does.
He goes into this very fancy sushi restaurant, which he's heard about from TV because he watches all the travel shows and stuff. So he knows what this place is.
Yes.
And he's served by this young woman named Mito.
Yep. He's heard of her too. She was on the TV.
She's like, you look familiar, and he's like, you look familiar.
It turns out he knows who she is. She's the youngest sushi chef in Seoul.
Yeah.
And...
youngest female sushi chef, maybe.
Yes, that's it. And she says, I thought nobody watched that show.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, he did.
Yeah.
She asks him what he'll have, and he says, I'll have... something alive. I want to eat something alive.
Yes. She brings him an octopus. She's like, okay, I'll cut it up and you can eat it. And he's like, no. I'm going to eat this thing.
I don't think he says anything. He just shoves it in his mouth.
He shoves the whole thing.
This is the other thing that everybody remembers about this movie. Because the actor eats a live octopus.
Yes.
This is a real octopus he's eating.
Yeah.
Actually, he ate 4.
Right. Wow.
And it's
amazing because there's a point where he passes out and you can still see the tail wiggling in his mouth.
As he's eating it, yes, that's right. It's moving the whole time.
One of many incredible visuals in this movie, arresting visuals.
This isn't quite as horrifying as it sounds, at least for a Korean audience, because eating live octopus is a kind of like a standard kind of pub food in South Korea. It's called sanakji.
Okay.
The octopus is dead.
Yeah.
But it's just been killed.
Yeah.
And it's cut up and it's still moving because of residual nerve activity. So eating a wriggling tentacle is a thing that people actually... It's like beer food.
Right.
Or soju food, to be exact.
But before this, he gets a call from his captor saying, do you like your clothes?
Yep.
The phone I gave you?
Yep.
And this is when he rattles off the names. Are you this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy?
Funny.
He's like, no.
All these jilted husbands, I imagine.
And he says, who I am is important. The important thing is why.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Which is the key to the
movie. Mystery,
and he knows... Odetsu knows he's been hypnotized. He remembers the hypnotist a little bit. He's like, did you put some hypnotic thing in my head? And then he eats the octopus, he passes out. The girl...
First of all, he's touched on the hand by Mido.
Yeah.
He says to her that women don't make good sushi chefs because their hands are too warm. And she says, well, my hands are very cold. She puts her hand on his hand, he then passes out.
Yeah.
She takes him home.
Yeah.
Much like she did in the manga.
But... unlike in the manga, she goes into the bathroom and he tries to rape her.
Yeah.
He tries to assault her, and the She says, she takes a knife in there with her. She's like, don't try anything.
I'll just cut you up like sashimi.
Yep. And he does try something.
Anyway.
He jumps in there. He's out of control. He's a complete animal.
Yes. She bangs him on the head with a knife.
And then she's like, look, I will sleep with you, but you just have to wait. And then we'll go at it.
First up, but I'm going to sing a very specific song.
Yes.
And it's as you mentioned, it's the song that...
Yes.
That he was watching when he was masturbating to the chorus girls.
Yes. Yes. And she reads his diary.
Yes.
Because from when he was locked up, so she knows about everything that happened. And there's a weird sequence about the ants here, because she talks about the ants come from loneliness. And then we get a scene of her sitting alone on a subway car, like a fantasy sequence where she sees a giant ant sitting across the aisle.
There's all kinds of cool stuff
Very
like that.
Interesting scene.
It's just so stylish.
Yes.
I love the style of this movie.
Yes. Now, here's a curious sequence which we can talk about now or when we get to the end. They go to a clock shop where this lady knew something about Odessu's daughter.
Yes.
And Odessu's daughter had called this lady. She didn't have many relatives or whatever. And she called her 5 or 6 years ago. She didn't speak much Korean anymore. She had moved to Sweden. And she'd mostly lost her language. Didn't even know that her mother had been murdered. And she was living with a foster family, and her name was now Eva something.
Yes.
And was living in Sweden. And we get an address for this girl, Eva von Nürnberg, and a phone number. And Mido's like, are you going to call him? He's like, I'm going to get my revenge. And he tries to smile and make the world smile with him.
Yeah, his grimace.
Even though he's crying at the moment. He's going to kill that guy, and then he's going to call his daughter, he says.
Yes. That's it.
Do we want to unpack this scene now or at the end? Because I don't know what's going on in this scene.
It's a red herring, right? This woman's is one of... although it's never... We don't get an explanation.
Okay. How did they know to go to this woman?
I don't know.
I think...
Presumably it's someone Odessu knew from his previous life. But we do later find out...
because he doesn't go
that nothing is beyond Odessu's antagonist. We'll call him Evergreen for now.
Yes, much like Dojima.
Yeah, except in this case it's not superhuman intellect, it's money. And time.
Yes.
He's had money and time. And Evergreen knows exactly everything about Odessu.
Yes, he says, you're my major, I'm studying you.
And everything about his daughter.
Yeah.
And in fact, he says later on that he's been looking after her.
Yeah.
So his daughter's never done a thing that he hasn't had some involvement in.
Yes.
He probably raised her.
So are we thinking that Odessu knew this lady was a friend of their family? They send in Mido in disguise as a reporter.
That's right.
So he says, I can't go in there because I'm a wanted man. You go in there. In fact, the lady says, he's still at large.
Yeah, has he been caught? She asks, is that why you're here?
Yeah. So Mido goes in disguise to this woman that Odessu formerly knew and says, have you had any contact from the daughter?
Yeah. She's
had a phone call and she's living in Sweden and she doesn't speak Korean. So are you saying that this was...
orchestrated.
Or somebody else called her... Not the daughter.
Or she's in... Yeah, either someone else called her, or she's just straight up in the pay of Evergreen.
Yeah, okay.
It's one of the few things that isn't resolved. I mean, most other stuff is resolved.
What if they called the number?
Presumably it would have gone through to some...
disconnected or something.
Or a pretend daughter. But I guess Evergreen is pretty confident that he won't call the daughter until he's got his revenge.
Right, because he's got it figured out. Like Dojima, I would say. Okay, so now we go through the dumpling test. They go to all the restaurants.
Yep.
The Blue Dragon restaurant.
He doesn't get a job or anything. Here we're just getting straight into it.
No.
Bam.
Yeah. This is not a...
Everything's on fast forward.
This is not a loose war journal. This is like, I'm getting revenge on this guy.
Right
He's
now.
insane. He's an animal.
Oh, that's another thing. He's completely insane. Yeah. He's gone completely
He calls
mad.
himself a monster. This is a key...
A beast.
A beast. Even I, a beast, do I have any right to live? Mm-hmm. Even though I am a beast, I have a right to live, don't I think is the way it's translated.
Something like that.
One of the 3 lines, that and laugh, and there was another one that came, a stone and a piece of sand.
And grain of sand sink equally fast in water.
Equally fast in water. Those are the 3 key components. But meanwhile, Mito has been online chatting with some guy called Evergreen.
Yep.
And has been telling her about this guy that was locked up all these years and reveals this. And he looks over his shoulder and he's like, what are you doing? She's like, I've been chatting to this guy for a long time. I'm just telling him what's going on in my life. She's like, what? Anyway, he figures out that it's Purple Dragon. He runs out. He goes to the Purple Dragon, follows the delivery guy, as in the manga, goes up there. But this time it's not 2 trips, it's just 1. He follows the guy.
We got to do things faster. Everything's got to be done faster.
Of course. 2-hour movie.
We have a great bit where he sneaks up on the guard, who's just like in the manga, is sitting in just kind of like a folding chair in the middle of this.
He's reading a shoujo manga.
I looked it up. Apparently it's called Four Daughters of Amien.
Okay.
It's sort of a fantasy. From what I could see, it didn't have any kind of special meaning. It's just
No.
It's just like a Korean...
There are a few nods to Japan. Like, when he's watching TV, there's like some Japanese TV shows on there with Japanese text on the screen. I don't know if they actually do that in Korea. Like, do they show Japanese shows with Japanese text? I don't know. Anyway.
Might be just a nod.
Yeah, I just thought there were a few...
I looked it up. Nods. It's a Korean manhwa, the Korean version of manga. And, but I couldn't see if
But it's definitely for girls.
No thematic... For girls. Yes. No, it's not like this... It's not like this... like Count of Monte Cristo or anything like that.
No.
There doesn't seem to be a specific...
Okay, so he just kills this guy with a hammer.
Yep.
That's his move.
A great scene.
Yeah.
He just sort of he poses with the hammer held above his head, waiting for the guy to move.
Yeah.
Which the guy very, very slowly draws a knife out of his sleeve. Yeah. We even get an effect imposed of dotted lines showing how he's going to hit him in the head.
The trajectory of the hammer.
Trajectory, that's it.
Yeah.
But we don't see it happen.
Yeah.
In fact, this film is not super violent except for...
Surprisingly, because I remember watching this and going, holy moly, this movie is over the top.
Yeah.
And then I remember listening to a podcast maybe 5 years ago about it, and they were talking about how it was of that era of extreme Asian cinema, quote unquote. And watching it last night, I was surprised how much stuff was off screen.
It mostly happens off screen.
And in fact, I watched with my son. He was like a surprised how low the kill count was. He thought it was going to be like The Raid, where everybody just got
blood
murdered.
soaked. No,
it's not at all like that.
No, the shock value is entirely emotional.
Oh yes, yes.
I found an interview with Park Chan-wook from around 2008, where he basically said he's not a big fan of violence.
Sure. Yep.
When he said when there's violence, he doesn't like the super violent Western cinema. He doesn't particularly like horror movies. He said, he says he looks away.
Yep. Got it. Yep. He goes to the office of the main guy. He has all the screens behind him.
Yep.
Which is where we learn that they knew that he was punching that hole in the wall, and also we now understand how they knew every time he tried to kill himself.
Yes.
Because they saw him doing it. And we hear this guy on the phone talking about the lockup system. It's how much it costs for 2 or 3 weeks, or we get kidnapping for free.
Yeah, we get the rules. You pay us, we'll lock him up for a while.
Yep. And he duct tapes this guy to his chair and pulls out all his teeth and tortures him to get the information.
He doesn't know who
ordered the lockup.
He says he doesn't know, but he records all his conversations with all his clients, and so Odesu takes the tape with he gets him out the chair, carries him out into the corridor. The corridor is now full of whatever the South Korean equivalent of yakuza are.
Yeah.
Half of them shirtless.
Yeah.
They're all carrying like 2x4s.
Yep.
And hammers.
Yep.
And he says who his blood type is AB negative or whatever, or whatever the universal donor is. Or actually, everybody in South Korea and Japan know their blood type, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. And 2 of the guys raise their hands like confusedly. Yeah. And he says, "This guy's lost a lot of blood. You're gonna want to get into the hospital right away." They just come up and take him, drag him away.
Yeah.
And then the best thing ever happens.
Yes.
Which in my notes I've just written down as the scene.
The scene. Now,
all in caps.
Waiting to get to this every time when we talked about Extraction, Atomic Blonde, and we were talking about the Oneers. In the back of my head, I was like,
"When are we going to get to
When are we going to get to Oldboy? Let's get to
best.
Oldboy. This is the one." We talk about Daredevil. No, this is the one.
The original hallway fight.
Yes. Looks like they built like half a hallway so that the camera can track from one end to the other.
It's like a side-scrolling beat-em-up.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's really great. We get to see how insane Odessu is.
Yeah.
And they just keeps fighting these guys, even when he's down.
Yep.
Finally, at the end, they're like, "Okay, he's down." He gets back up.
He just keeps getting back
they
up.
put a knife in his back.
Yep.
He's still going. It is incredible. Not as long as Extraction or Atomic Blonde, but even when I was watching those, I was like, we get into Oldboy one day, and here we are.
But it's just amazing, of course.
And he's using his boxing.
Yep.
You know, when he loses his hammer, he's just trying to box these guys to death.
He kicks them.
Yeah.
He throws things at them.
Yes.
They're hopeless, you know. They do a lot of
Eventually
fighting.
they start running away.
Yeah.
We had a great...
Their 2x4s are pretty fragile. They seem like they're made of plywood or something because they're breaking constantly.
Yeah. By the way, when he beats them, he turns kind of 3/4 to camera and has this huge grin on his face.
Yeah.
Anytime he smiles, you're like, is this a laugh and the world laughs with you moment? The elevator opens and there's all these dudes inside. Maybe
like
that's when he smiles.
More guys in. Yes, he does smile.
He smiles when all the, and then we get
yeah.
a cut, and then we cut to downstairs. The doors open. All the guys just fall. They spill out of the elevator.
That's amazing. He's just unstoppable, absolute force of nature. Of course, I'll talk a little bit about the corridor, some behind-the-scenes stuff. Of course, it was a single take.
Yeah.
No cuts, so unlike Extraction, they didn't sneakily stitch it together. Depending on, there are a couple of different figures for how many takes they did.
Okay.
That is how many times they shot the scene. You can see 17.
Okay. Wow.
Over 3 days. But I watched a Variety Anatomy of a Scene special with Park Chan-wook. And in that, he said it was 15 takes over 2 days.
Wow. Exhausting. He looks exhausted, and he is exhausted.
He absolutely, his fatigue is real. He does he does all his own stunts. Right. He got in great shape, and he does all his. It's just him. It's him the whole way through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only the knife is a computer effect.
A computer effect.
Yeah, that knife in his back. The knife. There's no one's holding a knife. Too dangerous.
Oh right.
So that knife, the knife that the guard is holding, he's never holding a knife. They added in digitally later.
Okay.
The one in his back's probably a prop.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Got it.
And so, the fatigue is real.
Yeah.
He's drenched in sweat because he's probably done 5 of these today.
Yeah. Yeah, over 12 hours, 12, 13, 14 hours.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Yeah. He collapses in the street, and he's rescued by a guy and put into a cab, and then the guy's like, okay, get home safe, Odessu, and we realize it's our...
That's our guy.
That's our
antagonist.
Our evergreen. He's dressed in kind of a tracksuit most of the time, but he's really a Patrick Bateman type later in the movie.
So, definitely inspired by Patrick Bateman, I think.
Yeah.
I think I saw a quote saying that it was...
Yeah, he's very much, really super handsome dude.
Yes. He's 15 years younger than the actor that plays Odessu.
Right.
A deliberate choice, because...
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be the same age.
They are the same age, but looks younger because he's... Couple of reasons. First of all, he hasn't aged because he hasn't been subjected to...
No, and we see all the doctors. There's a scene where he's surrounded by all these medics and stuff, and he's getting, longevity treatments.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so he has an in-universe reason for looking the way he does.
Yeah, right.
Because he's privileged and he hasn't been locked up in a room.
Yes, exactly.
Time has sort of stayed still for him, ironically. And the reverse is, he, on the other hand...
Right.
Odessu has aged because he's been locked up for 10 years. 15 years. The other reason, the thematic reason, is that Evergreen is like a supernatural figure.
Yes.
In the kind of control that he has over people's lives.
Yeah.
In fact, he is... Park has actually said that he is analogous to a Greek god.
Yes. I got that sense, actually.
A specific Greek god, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially when he's walking around nude. Yeah. He looks like a statue.
Yeah.
And
he does an extreme yoga pose at one point.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was a special effect.
It's a practical effect. They use it like a wire.
Yeah.
Like a Hong Kong...
Right.
A Hong Kong cinema style wire.
Yeah.
So he did learn yoga, but that pose is, I think, impossible.
Yes.
They hoist up his legs to make his entire body into a bow shape.
Yeah.
He's,
Yeah.
I will... If you if you can't guess which Greek god he's supposed to be, I will explain when we get to the climax.
So he listens to the tapes that he got of the client ordering him to be locked up for 15 years. But we also see that he's being watched from across the street by someone in this moment. He decides to go and visit his old pal, finally.
Yeah, the one that bailed him out in the first scene.
Yes. And he reveals to him all the stuff that's going on. He's like, you were such a womanizer, like you're never going to find this guy. Somehow through the internet business with Mido, a kind of track.
He's realized at some point he's figured out what evergreen means.
Yeah.
It's the motto of his old school.
Right. And
graduates of the school are called evergreen old boys.
Yes. Yes, we actually have an explanation for the word old boy.
Yeah, which is great, because we don't get that in the manga. That's another great thing that the movie stitches up.
It's a bit like, I guess we get a lot of superhero movies these days where they come up with explanations for things.
You know what? It's fantastic.
Yes.
Say that again? Yeah. So, he from that, he Googles it and they find the webpage.
Yes. And also, his friend is able to track down the address of this guy and finds out that it's across the street from Mido's place. So he runs out there.
Yeah.
Our hero, Odessu, runs out there.
Yeah.
And finds Mido there with his thug, who's this...
No, it's not Mido, it's Evergreen.
That's right, Evergreen.
He's called Woojin.
Woojin is there with his... platinum blonde enforcer.
A character straight out of a Hong Kong. This guy's not even particularly big.
Yes.
He's way less impressive than Woojin himself.
Yeah.
But you can tell he means business because he's got platinum blonde hair and he's wired
and doesn't speak.
And he never speaks. That's right. He's called Mr. Han.
Yes. So in this moment, Odessu could kill Evergreen. But Evergreen says, look, you don't want to kill me. You want to know why I locked you up for 15 years.
Well, and we feel like, yeah.
And also...
Odessu's not listening.
No.
And goes to get... and actually holds a knife to his neck.
Yeah.
Mr. Han tries to stop him, but Woojin is so in control of the situation, he just says, no, back off, Mr. Han.
Yeah.
He goes, you want to know why? Choi rethinks it. He goes to get his hammer.
Yeah.
And then... Woojin says, it's time for the impromptu dental surgery, I see. Right. He goes, but you're not going to get anything out of me this way because I have this.
Right. So he had heart surgery at some point.
He's got a remote control.
And he got a kill switch put on his heart with a remote control, which he says, if he presses a button, it'll kill him. So he'll die if he tries to torture him.
Yes.
So then he won't get his answers.
That's it. So he can't kill him because he won't hear the answer, and he can't torture it out of him the way we already saw him torture somebody, because if he tries to torture him, first of all, Mr. Han wouldn't let him do it anyway, but if he tries to torture him, he will press this remote control button, which will deactivate his pacemaker. I think in the Korean it might have been artificial heart.
Right.
Whatever that is.
Okay.
But because I read in that aforementioned interview from 2008, they talk about it being an artificial heart.
Okay.
The interviewer asks him, in Oldboy, Woojin has an artificial heart, and Park replies, I'm not sure that's medically accurate, maybe. I just use the heart because it's the organ that as soon as the person dies, it's the one that stops functioning.
Okay.
So here again, we've answered some questions that the manga, I thought, kind of didn't really satisfyingly answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Goto was that focused on revenge, why didn't he just torture it out of Dojima?
Well, I think the
the
explanation is that in the manga he's trying not to turn to the dark side.
Yeah, I was never you were in a room for 10 years, man. You're gully foil. He's going to kill him filthy.
Yeah. But that's not what the manga's about. The thesis of the manga is specifically not that.
I don't like the manga. Spoilers. But I like this movie, and this explanation is enough to carry us to the next thing.
Right. Okay. So he left the door open.
Oh yeah, as Woojin leaves, he says,
in Mido's apartment.
You forgot to lock the door behind you.
And when he gets back there, she's being sexually assaulted, tortured by the gang of bad guys from floor 7.5. Yep. They tie him up as if they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
Odesu.
Well, they're going to take out his teeth.
Take out his teeth. The guy has all gold teeth now. The head
amazingly, he's also called Park.
Right.
Not a huge coincidence, since everybody in Korea has like one of 3 surnames.
Yep. And but then they get a phone call before he's about to pull any teeth, and they call it off. But he does like punch him or bat him.
Well, he's in bad shape, but he threatens him. Oh, no, sorry. Park punches Odesu.
Yeah.
And Odesu says, I'm going to cut your hand off. I'm going to cut the hand that touched Midu off. The guy just leaves. He's like, we're rolling.
Well, he says you got to cut off my tongue too. He says.
Oh yeah, because he licked her, right?
Yeah.
Hilarious. And he's got the gold teeth. Also, Woojin has threatened to kill Mido.
Yes.
If he doesn't, he's given him July 5th deadline, the 5 days.
Yeah.
And he says if he doesn't find out by the end of 5 days, he will kill Mido.
Right.
So we've got some stakes. They flee.
Yes. So he's got to hide her. In the manga version, it's the teacher Kusama
we don't have time
gets
for that
her hidden
character.
at the billiards.
Here he just tries to run. He doesn't know he's being tracked at this point.
Yeah.
He just figures someone followed him. He thinks he can lose the tail if he just speeds off. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They go to some town outside.
She sings the
Seoul,
song in the car.
which means she's ready for love.
They get to their hotel. He has sex with her. It turns out to be her first time.
Yep.
She's struggling with it. It's quite graphic. Yeah. But they have sex for a long time. Then they get a package.
Yep.
A purple box.
Well, first is the package the next morning?
It could be.
First they go to sleep, and the gas comes in again.
Yes, that's right. The gas
Woojin comes in wearing a gas mask, and he's really happy.
Yeah.
And he gets in bed with them, and he's like touching Mido. This is the point that my wife walked into the room.
Right.
Said, what the fuck are you watching?
Yeah.
Let's go away. Kumar told me to watch it. And
so the next morning they wake up and the purple box is there.
Yeah.
And there's a hand inside with the ring of
Park the Yakuza boss.
Yeah.
The boss of the
So they know that the purple box means it's from Woojin. But it means that Woojin heard Odesu say, I want to cut off his hand.
Yeah.
So like, okay, we're being tracked somehow.
Yeah.
They go into
and he's found them, of
shop
course.
At the mall.
He's found them. He's left this box for them. The purple box with the pattern. Same pattern, yeah. So they go, apparently there's a shop you can go to get bugs removed.
Yeah.
But it's just like an electronics shop.
Yeah, it's an electronics shop, and he just holds up a piece of paper. Says, bug, please find it. They find it. It's in his shoe, as it was in the manga, the second.
Yep. Not in his back, though.
We don't
have time for that.
That's right. And then they look into this Evergreen high school place, and they figure out it was his old high school at this point. He goes back to visit, and we get an interesting flashback sequence here.
So there's some things happen. He murders... Woojin murders his friend, who was talking shit about a girl called Suji.
He goes through as Odesu's going through the yearbook. He's on the phone with his friend. He says, what about this person, this person, this person?
There's a person's face is missing, right, from the yearbook?
Yes, that's her face. Yeah. I don't know why it was missing from it. But they're like, that was...
He says that was, I think she's Sujin or... Suhan.
Yeah.
She killed herself. Well, he says she was a huge slut.
Yeah.
She slept with everybody. Massive slut.
You probably slept with her too, he says.
Yeah, I'm just sad I didn't get to sleep with her because she was a massive slut.
Yeah.
He just keeps saying it over and over. And then Woojin is just in his internet cafe.
Yes.
Listening.
Yeah. Because he doesn't have the tracker anymore.
He doesn't have the tracker anymore, so he's just listening in the internet cafe. He's so upset by this that he snaps a CD and stabs the friend to death with it. And then tells Odesu over the phone, it's like, you killed him, you know? You took the tracking device and I won't have anyone talk about my sister like that. So, it was his sister.
Right.
Okay. So then Odesu starts calling around some people from high school. And the clue he gets is that...
he locks up Eri in the 7.5 lockup to keep her safe.
Yeah.
This is where he decides
That's the last place I would have taken her.
Yeah, especially because her meals are going to be like coming through a slot in the door. Like, I'm assuming she's going to be treated like everybody else was.
Yes, she is going to be treated like everybody else. This is a wild thing, but it's more manipulation from Woojin. In this case, the the chopped off hand, has convinced Oresu that Park will not turn him in.
Because he's become an enemy of my enemy,
Exactly.
basically. Right.
Exactly. I think they even say a line like that in the movie.
Finally, he finds this like hairdresser or beautician that
She gives
knows
him a
some
haircut.
details.
Yep.
And says that she actually she wasn't sleeping around with all the guys.
No.
But maybe she got pregnant or something. That's why she
and then she
killed
jumped in
herself.
a dam and killed herself.
Yeah.
And someone, also one of the people, not the beautician, but someone that she asked had said the best person to ask about who she was sleeping with is Oresu.
I think the person asked was Ju-hwan, the friend.
Right.
Or no, Ju-hwan was the sister? Wait, I think that this was a bit confusing
So
for
you
me.
would know better than anyone.
Right, but he's not going by his own name because he's wanted.
Yeah.
He's going by the dead friend's name.
So someone should ask Oresu.
Oh.
Because, as we later find out, Oresu is the source of rumours about her.
Right, okay. Maybe he is going by his own name.
Oh, incidentally, the only thing he really gets out of the tape is that he listened to the one that he pried Park's teeth out to get, is the reason why Woojin locked him up is because Oresu talks too much.
Right. Yeah, right.
Which, of course, foreshadows that what's going on here is that he spread rumours about his sister.
Right, okay. I found a line here.
Mm-hmm.
So the beautician calls up a girl called Chun Shim.
Okay.
Chun Shim says Ju Hwan had told her about it. This is the translation we've got.
Yep.
So Ju Hwan's the friend.
Yep.
Ju Hwan told Chun Shim. Oops. And then her next line is, and says that you would know the best. So does she
Meaning
think
Odesu.
he is? Does she think Odesu is the friend, or does she think? Does she know he is Odesu, the wanted man, at this point?
So is he... I assumed that you would know best that they're referring to is Odesu.
Okay.
So perhaps he's come to her under his actual name.
Okay.
Maybe now that the statute of limitations is up.
Right. Okay.
It's okay. He goes back to the school and he remembers what happened.
Yeah.
He was quite dashing in his youth, bit of a rebel.
Yep.
We see
It's
him
his last
wearing
day at the
an amazing
school.
kind of houndstooth suit.
Yes.
And he's smoking.
Yeah.
One of the nuns tells him to stop, and he doesn't.
No, he says, my last day at the school, I'm moving to Seoul tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then a girl who he doesn't know comes up.
Yeah.
She flirts with him a bit. He flirts back with her, but then she leaves.
Yes.
He follows her, and he sees her being chased by someone he does know, which is Woojin.
Yeah.
He follows them to a room. There, Woojin is taking photos of the girl.
Yeah.
Then he takes off her bra. Then he takes off her underwear. Then they start to... I think he kisses her breasts.
Yeah.
Then they spot that he's there. They spot him through the window, and he runs.
Yeah.
The next thing we see is he's telling his old friend from the internet cafe when they were kids. He says, I saw Woojin with some girl. They were doing it in the art room. You go, who's the girl? He says, I don't know her name. I just know she rides a red bike and she's in such and such a class.
Right.
And then he says, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
But of course he does tell people. It's funny that internet cafe guy is not blamed for spreading the rumours.
Yes.
It's Oresu.
But Odesu's the one that saw them.
Yes.
He's the one that saw the tears
Yes.
in the music room, so to speak. So he's the problem.
So here we've got incest.
Yes.
We discovered that this is the big secret, and this of course is the rumor that is bruited around.
Yeah.
That he caught them like Cersei Lannister and Jaime Lannister in the tower at Winterfell.
Yeah.
This is something which Woojin will kill for.
Yes.
Or at least imprison you for 15 years for.
Yep. And he has figured out through some biblical clue where his office building is, where Woojin's office building is.
Because he's in his tower. It was something he said in the chat about being in a tower.
Yeah, but there was a special, like a number, like a 4-3.
Yeah.
This works in Korea because it's so Christian.
Yeah.
That you can have Bible.
It's like
scripture numbers, verse and scripture numbers. It's
whichever one. And he goes to the building and he tries pressing all the elevator numbers, and then Woojin himself arrives.
Yep, he's like, let's go up.
They press the right numbers, up they go, and we have our final scene.
Yes, half an hour. Half an hour final scene, by the way. Okay, so here we get. So while they're chatting in the penthouse. Mido is in the lockup cell. She's got a present, which is some...
Mr. Park comes in with his gold teeth.
Yeah.
But
she's got some angel wings, which I'm assuming that were given to her as a present.
Yeah, why does she have the angel wings? I don't know.
I don't know about the angel wings. I think that's maybe Odessu's go-to present. Buy some angel wings. Because they were left on the street in the rain.
These are well, I don't think they're the same wings.
Exactly. I think this is what he always buys.
I thought that Woo Jin gave them to her.
Oh, okay.
For no real reason except to fuck with us, the audience.
Yes, us, the audience. Odessu doesn't know about these.
No.
Okay. So there's now we get all the reveals come out.
Yep.
Woo Jin says, you're asking the wrong questions. It's not why did you lock you up. The question is, why did I let you out?
Why did I let you out?
Why after 15 years?
Why 15 years exactly?
Why exactly 15 years?
Yep.
There's a crazy split diopter shot here where they're both in focus at the same time, and Woo Jin's right in front of the camera, and Odessu's all the way at the back. And Odessu's accusing him of, like, who took this picture at the dam of your sister when she died?
He says, did you kill her?
Did you kill her?
And he's like, no, you killed her.
Yes. We learned that she had psychosomatic symptoms of pregnancy.
That's what Woo Jin believes.
Yeah.
She had a phantom pregnancy.
Yeah.
That she was so hurt and became so obsessed with the rumors that she was fucking her brother that her belly swelled and her period stopped.
Right.
But he says I didn't give her that pregnancy. It didn't come from my dick. It came from your tongue.
Right.
However, I don't think it could be either.
Okay.
It's very possible he did impregnate her, and he's in denial.
Right.
Because she then, we see what happened. In the mirror of the scene at the start of the film, we see that he was holding her out over the dam, the same way Odessu was holding that guy by his necktie in the very first scene. And in the eventual scene, we see, which comes after the horrible reveal, we see that he actually let her go.
Right.
And she falls to her death.
Yeah.
This, according to Park, is the other reason why he has so many images of hands in the film. He says it's the hand that put everything in motion, the hand of Woo Jin when he let his sister go.
Right.
Quote, he could have saved his sister but let her go. This is the root of his trauma which set the film in motion. So the director may be leaning into the idea that Woo Jin killed his own sister, or at least let her die.
Right. Okay.
But of course, we're allowed to make up our own minds.
Now he reveals that there's been some post-hypnotic suggestion. He's like, what kind of girl takes a man home, a stranger home, that she just met?
Yep.
Which, it's like the manga. It's like, wait, why did that happen? Yes, here it's explained. And we see her with we see Mido with the hypnotist. And he was like, well, I hypnotized you to go to that restaurant and to have this reaction on the phone
when
line.
This
reaction when she touched your hand, you would pass out and all these things. I think these are extreme hypnotic suggestions, like the manga.
It's a little more extreme than reality, but much less extreme than the manga song.
I think touching someone's hand so they pass out, I think that's extreme.
It is extreme, but it's not as extreme as getting rid of someone's free will, which is what happens in the manga. They're hypnotized into falling in love.
Yeah.
And it's implied that the hypnosis is powerful enough to make someone kill themselves.
But in the manga, Eri does say, I loved you anyway.
Oh, how would they even know?
Yeah, so how would they know? But I think this is equally as heavy.
I think it's
heavy.
I accept this. I'm still not super happy that hypnosis is involved at all. But I'm much happier with this version in the film because I feel like there's some ambiguity too. A little ambiguity.
Right.
Whereas there's zero ambiguity in the manga.
There's a purple box. Purple gift box, as always with the pattern, much like his sister's dress. Yep. He's like, go look in that box. He points a laser pointer at it. He goes over, opens up the photo album.
As soon as I saw it was a photo album, I knew exactly what happened.
Right.
My stomach just dropped.
Right. He starts looking through it. It's photos of him and his family, his wife and daughter.
Yep.
Back in his days when he was drinking, womanizing. Pictures of daughter growing up, bit by bit by bit. Picture of daughter at graduation. Finally, picture of daughter as Mido.
Yeah.
So now we learn that Mido is his daughter. And he says, I've been looking after her since she was 3, which means she's 18, I guess. And I believe the age of consent in Korea is 20.
Yes.
I'm not sure about this.
I think it was... Yeah. I think it was her 4th or 5th birthday that...
Oh, but why has he been taking care of her since
Probably
she was
because
3?
he's the master. He's the Svengali.
Do we know it's her 4th or 5th birthday from the line dialogue?
From the first scene, the drunk scene.
Oh.
He says it's like her 4th birthday.
Okay. The actress was 21, by the way.
So she's like 19, 20.
Okay.
So at the age of, I mean, like consent matters in this universe.
No.
But she's old enough for him to not go, whoa, are you under 20? I'm not sleeping with you. Not that he would anyway, because he's a crazed madman who wants to have sex with anything.
Yes.
Of course. Okay. This is it. This is the horrifying reveal. The raw
brain shatters. His brain and our brains shatter at this moment.
This is Greek tragedy.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. That's exactly what it is.
This is the primal fear, the primal sin.
Yes.
The ultimate crime.
Yes.
Worse than murder, worse than theft, worse than torture.
He goes crazy, but there's also a box in her lockup cell, a purple box.
Well, he goes crazy. He has a big fight with Mr. Han. Mr. Han beats the shit out of him. So training in a hotel room can only go so far. Mr. Han is a genuine article, and he's just throwing him around the room.
Yep.
However, Mr. Han goes off script when Odesu stabs him in the ear with I think perforates his eardrum with a pair of scissors.
Right, yes.
Then Mr. Han loses his cool, goes apeshit, and starts to kill Odesu. Woojin is trying to tell him to stop. We can hear like a ringing because he's gone deaf. Han has gone deaf. He's telling him to stop. He's saying, Mr. Han, this is not the plan because there's more to come. He shoots Mr. Han in the head.
Yep.
Then he continues. He says, like, there's more.
Yep.
You thought you could hide her from me? You thought Mr. Park was on your team now just because he lost his hand? No, I bought him a whole new building.
Yep.
Because you can't use the old one anymore because of you. He's on my side and now he's going to tell...
Well, there's a box there which has another photo album.
He gives him the phone,
Yeah.
and it's Mito on the phone. She says, "Where are you, Odesu? Where are you? I'm scared. And he's like, "Oh, don't worry." He calls her the pet name that he called her in the very first scene on the phone, on the payphone. Not the first scene, the second scene when they were out in the rain. Sweet Pea, he calls her. That's how they translate it. Sweet Pea, I'm coming. Just
by the way, she never calls him Odesu. She. This was the point I was getting to earlier. She calls him some other word, which I think is like the Mister that Eri calls him in the comic or something. I don't know. I don't speak Korean.
Okay,
I don't know.
No, I find it really hard to follow Korean. I've never studied it.
Right.
Although coincidentally, a lot of its words sound like Cantonese
and Japanese. If I'm in a restaurant and I hear somebody speaking Japanese, I'm like, oh, that person. And then I listen for a while. I was like, they're not speaking Japanese. They're speaking Korean.
I didn't know that, but a lot of things like numbers and colours and things.
Right.
It turns out that when Mandarin dropped certain syllables, Cantonese and Korean didn't drop those. So both Cantonese and Korean derive large amounts of... Well, Cantonese obviously entirely the same vocabulary as Mandarin. But Korean, something about like 60% of Korean, similar, kind of like with Japanese, is derived from Middle Chinese words and characters. Over time, the Korean... Chinese words kept a certain syllable that Cantonese also kept, but the Mandarin lost. So Korean sounds more like Cantonese than it does Mandarin.
Right. Right.
Anyway, right. So she's not calling him Odesu, but she says, "I'm scared. Where are you?" He says, "Sweet Pea, I'll come find you." She says, "There's a box here. There's a purple box." He's like, "Don't open that box. Please don't open that box, darling. Don't open that box. Whatever you do, don't open that box." Then he begs Woojin not to, in an extremely
pathetic,
awful scene. He begs Woojin not to tell Mito.
Yes,
and
he sings the evergreen,
the Oldboy song. Where evergreen old boys
reminded me a bit of the manga where they're constantly going back to the song that he has to try to remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably a nod to it. Although I read somewhere that this whole scene was ad-libbed by the actor.
Whoa, okay.
As was the drunk scene at the start.
Yeah, right.
He licks his shoes.
Yeah. He says, "I'll be your dog."
He barks, crawls around.
Yeah.
It's a hard watch. And then it gets worse.
Yeah.
He cuts out his own tongue.
Yeah. He's like, "This is the tongue that killed your sister."
Yep. he cuts it off.
Oh, get rid of this nasty tongue. He cuts his own tongue off. In a not graphic.
No, it cuts away.
As least graphic as it can be, I guess. I can put it.
But it's clear what's occurred.
Yes.
Then he can only grunt now.
Yeah.
He grunts pleadingly, gives him the phone, grunt, embracing his legs. Woo-jin calls Park and says, leave it closed.
Yep.
So Mito does not find out.
Yes. And
then he...
Odessu gets...
Well, first he drops... And then... sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say he gets a hold of the controller.
Yes.
The kill switch.
As a final, final cruelty, Woo-jin drops the controller, the kill switch. Odessu points it at him to turn off his pacemaker, but of course it doesn't do that. What it does instead is starts a recording of him having sex with Mito.
Yep. Yep. And her saying, it hurts, I'm going to keep going.
I want it to feel good for you. It's just...
It's next level.
Unbelievable, but there's more to come, because now we get the flashback with Woo-jin and his sister at the dam, where we see him let go of her hand.
Kind of a parallel to the scene with the guy with the dog.
Yes. When he was holding him by his tie. I did say that earlier.
Oh, you did.
Then we see him make a cocked gun symbol with his hand, brings it up to his temple, fires. He's actually holding the gun. He kills himself. Why does he kill himself? Possibly because he's achieved. This is the apotheosis of his life.
It's like in the manga.
Yeah, I didn't get that from the manga though.
I think he just reached the end.
Yeah, but that's definitely what's happening here. That's it.
He only had one thing in his life.
Yep.
Revenge on this guy. I think it's the same in the manga.
That's what he's dedicated the last 20 years of his life to.
Yeah.
Because in this as well, Woo-jin is rich and always has been. He came from money.
Right.
Which I think I like better than made it all through magic intuition powers.
Right.
He came from money, which is why he has the funds, the leisure time, and the kind of decadent upper class inclination of taking such a terrible vengeance.
By the way, they did such a good job of casting the young versions of our main actors, like Woo-jin and Odessu and the friend. They all really look like...
they do look good. You're not in any doubt who you're looking at.
No. Note to people that are trying to digitally de-age.
Yeah, just cast younger actors. We suspend disbelief, you know? Yeah. Don't do it.
Yeah. Okay, final scene. We're in...
a snowy forest? Woods?
Snowy woods surrounded by mountains. And it's Odessu can't speak with the hypnotist. And he wants to be hypnotized to forget.
Yes. So forget that the knowledge that he was ever her father? Or that he ever slept with her?
We
don't know what he's forgetting. Just the whatever the terrible thing
forget that she is his daughter, maybe.
We don't know.
We don't know, but we
get a scene where we see her hypnotizing. She says, put all the stuff you want to forget in something called the monster. Then the monster turns away from
which was his handle, and it's the beast that deserves to live.
Yeah. The monster steps away and ages into nothingness.
Yeah.
We don't see it happen, but it's being described. Then
actually, we do see.
We see him stepping away, but we don't get some sort of.
Don't we get a scene in the high rise again?
Yeah,
where he's looking.
That's what I mean. Yeah, we see it. We just don't see him age or whatever. He splits from himself. He split
it's like Superman 3. There's like two of them now. There's like Odessu and there's the monster.
Yeah, the monster walks away and dies, leaving just Odessu, hopefully ignorant. He goes. We're back in the forest again.
Yeah.
He walks. Mito is there. She hugs him. Says, I love you, Odessu. I'm pretty sure she says, I love you, Odessu at this point, not some pet name.
Yeah.
She says, who were you talking to? Or what were you doing? He turns around. There are 2 chairs, but they're empty. The hypnotist is not there. Was the hypnotist ever there?
Yeah, and there's footsteps, but I don't know how many there were. And also, some people online, I ended up looking at some deep fan theories, and somebody's saying the number of steps is the same as the number of steps of the monster. So this person we're looking at is not Odessu. This is the beast.
Oh, maybe. Interesting. That'd be interesting. That seems like a longbow. But he hugs her. and then he does the grimace.
Oh no, you're right. It doesn't split into two people. It's just the monster walking right from the window.
Well, he splits from his reflection.
Yes, that's right. The reflection is there.
We do it with mirrors.
Yeah.
He embraces her. We see his face, but he
puts on that smile,
grimace, the same
which
grimace.
is like, are we supposed to be laughing with you? But then he goes into sad.
Yeah.
It turns sad.
Yes.
And it's like, is he crying alone or are we crying with him? I think that's flipped. I think if he's... it's great, that moment, because he's laughing and we're not laughing with him. And then he's crying. He's not crying alone. We're there
crying with him. Oh, boy.
But this is really incredible because whatever he's chosen to forget...
Well, I'm not sure the hypnotist was ever there.
Yeah, right.
And what did he choose to forget? I found a couple of quotes about this online from the director. And he's basically said that this is deliberately ambiguous.
Okay.
You are not supposed to know what's happened here.
Okay. But I think he's trying to forget, either literally by hypnosis or by imagining
He can't tell her anymore, right? He's cut out his tongue.
I think he's trying to convince himself to forget that he's her father, that he's her father. That's the thing he's trying to forget.
I think so too.
He's trying to forget that connection. That's my read on it.
That's what he would like.
The thing I love about this is a...
But, I mean...
I love it when you get to see the decision of a character. This is not the decision of the movie. It's a character. It reminded me of Close Encounters, when he gets on the spaceship at the end.
Abandons his family.
He leaves his family. No second thoughts about it. And I was like, that's not Steven Spielberg saying you should leave your family and go live with them. That's that character making that decision.
I'm so glad you said that, because, I've got a quote from Park where he says basically the exact same thing that you just described.
Okay.
All right, here I found a video of him from 2003 where he's talking to a group of young people who are presumably film students. They've just watched Oldboy, I think, and he's been given a list of written questions to answer. This is where I got the quote about Park more or less confirming that Woo-jin let his sister fall. Mm-hmm. Also, a student gave him a question that was, if Mido's memories were erased, so Mido's, if Mido's memories were erased instead, could they live as father and daughter again? Question mark. Mm-hmm. To which Park replied, yes, but his sexual desire is stronger than that. He doesn't want to live like that.
Yes. Right.
He wants to keep having sex with his hot daughter.
Right.
He then, they then cut to the student, and the student looks upset.
Yes.
And Park asks if she understands the answer. And she says, no, I don't think so. To which Park then replies, listen, the character's thoughts don't necessarily represent the director's thoughts.
Yes.
And then everybody in the room laughs.
Right. That was it was my take on it. This is this character's decision, however horrific it is.
Yeah.
Which is, I want to go on living. Well, he could have killed himself, or
they're not.
That wouldn't have erased the sin of what he did to her. But
they're clearly not living as father and daughter. Although they could be. He could have come clean to her. But then why would he want to erase the memory? I think probably I think what's happened is that he wants her to be happy, and he wants to find a way to keep living and be in a romantic relationship with his own daughter.
Okay.
Right.
Now, incredible movie. One of the best movies of the past 30 years.
Yeah. Hands
down.
Absolutely.
Huge questions. What's going on with Mido? Why doesn't she remember, hey, this guy walks in, looks familiar, he says, she learns his name is Odessu. She's like, that was my dad's name.
Yeah, because there's hardly any names in Korea.
So there's a lot of Odessus.
I'm guessing.
Oh, you look like my dad and your name is Odessu. That's a coincidence.
Yeah.
They go presumably back to a neighborhood that she grew up in.
Yeah. And she never thinks.
And she's like, she goes in to meet this lady who she knew as a 5-year-old. I mean, sure, there were lots of people when I was 5. I don't remember the people that my parents hung out with when I was 5. Sure. Maybe this guy was a drunk that was hardly ever around. She wouldn't remember his face. Okay. Yep. I'm buying some of this.
Yeah.
But I think we've jumped through a lot of hypnosis hoops to get to the point where... I mean, she's changed her name. We don't know why. Why has she changed her name?
Why is she... Yeah. And why is she... I understand why Odessu is so keen to have sex with her.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. Why is she so happy to give her virginity to him?
Yes.
This scruffy vagabond.
Yes, that's not explained.
Who's been in jail forever.
Was she hypnotized into wanting to give her virginity to him?
No, she wasn't. The only thing she was hypnotized to do was, I think, take him home.
Right.
And then I think Woo Jin was hoping then that nature would take its course. And he had every reason to expect, maybe he hoped that Odesu would rape her.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is a possibility. But instead, they formed this romantic attachment. I just think maybe the director, and he also co-wrote the film, maybe he's just less interested in what motivates Mido.
I think he's he's found the twist at the end, which a lot of movies do, and then
worked back
haven't quite worked out how there are some holes in there because of the great twist at the end. Woo Jin is too competent. Yes. There are too many
like
Dojima.
Too many things. Yeah, yes, a bit like Dojima. Dojima's never not in control. Although it seems like he is in some of the... It seems like he's less in control in some of the earlier volumes. By the end, he's in total control of every possible variable. Here, I agree. By the end, I was just thinking, there's so many steps where something could have gone wrong here. Something could have gone wrong, and your whole revenge plan could have gone wrong. The reason why I'm okay with it is because Woo Jin is like a supernatural being.
Right.
And this is only partly a scheme. This is prophecy. Right.
I think the yoga scene is actually a key indicator.
Yes.
Of the level.
I mentioned this is Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
People. By this point, I thought this is Oedipus the king.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Yeah. It's Oedipus the king. Except instead of sleeping with his mother, he slept with his daughter.
Yeah.
That makes Woo Jin Apollo, the Greek god from whom prophecies come.
Okay.
And in fact, it's deliberate. Him doing that yoga pose to look like a bow is meant to make him look like a godlike figure. And also, Apollo is the archer.
Yeah.
He sends disease with his bow.
Right.
So as well as being the god of prophecy, he's the god of medicine and disease. He is body in the shape of a bow to make that connection with Apollo and Oedipus Rex explicit. It's not the only connection to Oedipus. Odesu's name. Odesu,
of course.
Oedipus. That one I didn't figure out by myself.
Although there was a literal translation of his name that he gives in the police station. What was it? It was like always moving forward or something, which is exactly the opposite of what happens at the end.
Yep, right. I did not. I didn't figure that one out by myself. That was from the interview from 2008, where Park says, "I named Odesu in Oldboy to remind the viewer of Oedipus."
Right.
I was thinking of Greek myth or the classics. As for the Apollo thing, he says, Woo Jin is a non-realistic or surrealistic character. He comes from much further away than most Koreans imagine a surreal, godlike figure. The yoga pose he assumes at one point in the film is intent to show him as a man beyond the realm of the ordinary. It is a beautiful and sacred pose conveying the image of Apollo. That's what I wanted the actor Yoo Ji-tae to express with his body.
Okay, I found a quote. It's my name, Odesu, means just get by the day quietly.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we're in the trivia zone.
Sure.
By the way, final credits. Opening credits. Original story by Garon, Tsuchiya, and Nobuaki Minegishi. Is what the credit reads in English.
Yeah.
Not mention of a comic book or anything like that. Closing credits over this beautiful, I guess it's New Zealand, this snowy mountain.
Yes, it is New Zealand, that's right.
Yeah.
They go to New Zealand, because there was no snow in Korea at that time of year.
Yeah.
They go to New Zealand. I didn't get a good source for this, but I read they lost their luggage.
Okay. Was somebody in it?
They had to hire cameras to shoot this scene.
Oh yeah, I noticed in the end credits, it's all local crew. It's like a New Zealand crew.
Oh. And they had to kind of go shopping to find outfits that looked kind of like the ones they should have been wearing.
Okay. Gosh, yeah, but it might be months later. So anyway.
Well, we don't know how much time has passed.
Well, it's minimum 6 months. They go from July to snow.
Yep.
So it's got to be something like that.
And it could be even longer.
Could be.
Because his hair seems grayer.
Yes. Okay.
But again, it's just another ambiguity. All right, so this film cost $3 million US to make.
Okay.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Box office $17.6 million.
Especially if there were computer effects in it, like
Well,
the
there
knife.
were very few, just the knife and the arm with the ants coming out, but otherwise it was all practical.
Okay.
With a really great scene transition. A lot of the scene transitions are really good. There's some very creative editing and camera work. This is a very artistic movie. As I keep saying, it's so stylish. Everything about it is so stylized and stylish. I just really love it. And then, of course, well, we'll talk a bit more about that when we get to our votes. 17.6 million is pretty good. Obviously, that's a pretty solid profit. Most of that's made internationally. It made 3.26 million in South Korea, which doesn't sound like a lot, but makes it the 5th highest grossing film in South Korea of 2003.
Okay.
Korean film, maybe the 5th highest grossing film in Korea of 2003. Even today, South Korean films rarely make more than 3 million US.
Right.
Even Parasite only made 10 million.
Okay.
And that was after it was re-released.
Yeah.
To coincide with Oscar buzz.
Right.
And attending the film was practically a patriotic duty in South Korea. It still only made $10 million. But however, despite making a modest amount of money, it's absolutely, as you pointed out, considered one of the best films of the last 30 years. An absolute classic, cult classic. Won all sorts of awards. Everywhere it showed, in every film festival it showed in, it won awards, including the Grand Prix at Cannes. It didn't win the Palme d'Or. It lost that to Fahrenheit 9/11, probably because everyone was feeling pissed off at America. But it did win the second prize, the Grand Prix. There's rumour around that the actor that played Oresu is a vegetarian and Buddhist and had real struggle to eat the octopus.
Oh, okay.
And in fact praying over each of them before he ate them.
Okay.
That apparently is a myth.
Okay.
On the director's commentary, they say he's laughing about it. But citation needed, because that rumour is everywhere and I only found one source refuting it. That's pretty much all I have for trivia.
Huh, okay.
Because I told you a lot of it during the...
Okay, right, yes, good, okay. Okay, we'll go into our votes. So it sounds like you're a nay on the comic.
I'm a nay on the comic. I really think it starts so strong, maybe even the first 2/3.
Okay.
But I just feel like the final third gets lost and really starts to drag. And the resolution is profoundly unsatisfying. I also feel like these people don't act like real people.
I think that's true.
Yeah, they sort of act like weird robots. My rewrite is, we make it science fiction, and these guys are telepaths.
Okay, was that your reaction before you watched the movie?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I think here we should have Kakinuma is a telepath.
Yeah.
With precognitive and psychic abilities, and that Goto Shinichi should also be a telepath, but an unrealized one.
So you're talking about scanners, really?
Something like scanners, and that also makes the hypnosis more palatable, because if mind powers are real in this universe, then hypnosis can. So I would have liked this a lot better if it was the story of two mutants. The struggle between two mutants.
Look, I'll agree. I do think the ending was a little bit unsatisfying. I think it would be, as I said before, I think it would have worked in a prose novel.
Yeah.
I think that solution of him crying, hearing the song, you would have had a lot more depth into it. And it might have worked.
You could do a banquet scene style discussion of what people are
Ring
thinking.
the
Ring the bell! Banquet scene, baby!
Yes.
I think I found, and also there's a lot of waffle.
Yeah. Yes and no.
And again, this is no reflection on the skills of the translator, because the translation is excellent. But there's a lot. People say a lot of stuff doesn't mean anything. It feels, as I said, like pseudo-philosophical. It feels like I've written in my notes real seinen nonsense.
Look,
I feel like this is something that other mangas like Monster have done really effectively, and this really wants to be saying something. I can't take credit for this quote. I found this quote in a review of the film Oldboy, describing Oldboy the manga. It described it as ijime obsessed faux existentialist machismo. Ijime being Japanese word for bullying.
yes.
And that sums up better than anything I could come up with.
I agree and disagree. Now, it's a yay for me because I like the style and the atmosphere of it. I like the overall feel of the thing. I like the pace of it. I actually think the complaints about the psychologizing of it are valid. However, I don't think there's that much of it in there. It's not really dialogue heavy. It was a very fast read. I was reading 2 volumes a day. I just breezed through it. I just found there's a lot of walking around and stuff and enjoying the streets and stuff like that. It's very rare that they stop and actually talk for a long time about something.
But when they do, boy, they do. And this is what's conveying this is the guts of this. By the final third, this is the guts of the story.
Yeah.
Because we're resolving the mystery. But unfortunately, the resolution of the mystery is a lot of waffle about what people felt when they were 10 years old and the reasons why they felt it. I completely agree. It's a great read. I think something like maybe the first 6 volumes or 5 volumes, I was reading him.
Right.
Because he's like, it's obvious like what's the next clue? What's the next thing that's going to happen? What's the next gambit that's going to set up? Then the gambits all start piling up, and I think it loses its way.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be rereading this. Okay. And it's a
movie.
Yay.
Yeah.
What an incredible film.
Yeah.
Incredible operatic tone.
Yeah.
Human passion at its absolute rawest.
Yes. Yeah. It's really something else.
And technically interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. The image making in it is really interesting and unlike anything I've seen.
This must have been what it was like for the ancient Greeks to have been watching Euripides' Medea or something in that amphitheatre 2,500 years ago.
Yeah.
This is how they must have felt, seeing the basest of human emotion on display.
Oedipus, do we know the whole time that Oedipus is...
Well, Apollo gives him the prophecy that he's going to sleep with his mother and slay his father.
Okay, so there's no...
He tries to escape it, but you can't escape your fate.
Yeah.
You can't. That's a...
Right. But so it's here.
And in fact, trying to escape your fate is what causes you the gods curse you and make you do that stuff.
Right.
And that's kind of what's going on here. Odysseus has been cursed by, and he can't escape it.
Yeah.
Every move he makes just brings him closer to, the terrible denouement.
Yeah. Okay, adaptation.
This is genius adaptation.
Yeah.
Genius.
I think it's one of the best we've had on the show. And as I said at the very top, what I love about it, and because I did like the comic, is I love how just the way this is the bones of the story, the skeleton are seen through the eyes of 2 different sets of artists.
Yes.
Is like, what does this world mean?
Yeah.
I've
got a whole list of things that I think the film improved.
Okay.
Some of them I've discussed already.
Yeah.
In the manga, why didn't he just kill him instead of imprisoning him for 10 years?
Oh, well, in the manga there is an explanation.
Yeah, but I've never been super satisfied by it.
Yes, which is that people, not everybody can just kill a person.
Yeah.
Which is, the problem with that is he is ready to kill him once he gets out. He's like, I'm going to kill you.
He's going to kill him anyway if he loses the comp, so...
Yeah.
But here it's obvious why he didn't kill him, because he wants him to have sex with his daughter.
Yes.
Why let him out at this point, at 15 years? It's covered in the film, because now his daughter is at the age of... His daughter is old enough for sex. That's a quote straight from the director as well, I found as well. He's out now because she's old enough for sex.
Yeah, and I think Evergreen says that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Why orchestrate... Eddie in the comic felt like a bit of a superfluous character almost, and also she's not very interesting. She's a bit of an...
Well, she comes and goes. She's in and out. She's not part of the one that's unpacking the mystery, really.
Yeah, so she feels superfluous almost. That it doesn't feel like an important part of the reveal that she's been hypnotized all along. Here, of course, it's central because it's the person that he needs to have sex with to bring this to a terrible end. Why not go to the cops? He's wanted for murder. Why not beat him to death when he has the chance? The pacemaker. Why does hypnosis work? Here, it only mostly works. And ultimately, why the fuck did he do this horrible thing? Because it's a Greek tragedy.
Yeah. Look, I agree.
Because at the heart of it is the terror is incest. Incest is at the heart of it.
Yeah.
Incest coming and going.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more perverse than than incest.
Yeah. No, I agree with all that. I just think the manga covers those bases in its own way.
I feel like yes, but improved. I feel that it's all improvement.
Of course, yes.
It's how I feel. And of course, my biggest belief about adaptation, as we've gone into ad nauseum, is that it has to have improvement. I think even though the film has a fantastic tone at times, like the ant on the subway and some other things, some things that are occurring, which obviously, like the trajectory of the hammer and things like that, I think it makes great choices to make the extreme behaviors that occur in the manga more believable in the film.
Yes. Yes, of course, yes.
And ultimately, because they root it in these primal human characteristics rather than the kind of strange superhuman ones that the manga does.
Yes. And I think you've hit on something with the Greek tragedy because it makes it a bit timeless. As well, whereas the manga is really 1997. I mean, that's one of the things I like about it, is it reminds me of being in Tokyo in the year 2000. Like, it looks like that.
Yeah,
It's very specific.
I concede that totally. I was impressed with the backgrounds. They felt really kinetic and lived in, and I recognised Golden Guy.
Yeah.
I did obviously never lived in Tokyo and didn't visit most of those places you described, but I did visit Golden Guy, and I went into a bar exactly like that. It was exactly like it. Exactly like it.
Yeah.
Amazing. But yeah, even though Woo Jin is explicitly linked to godlike figures, he's also very base.
Yes.
Only his wealth is the most exceptional thing about him.
Yeah.
Kind of like in universe. Unlike Kakinuma, unlike Dojima, who's I suppose it's implied his extreme behaviors are a reflection of his extreme individuality or his extreme exceptionalness as a human being. Here, Woo Jin is instead unexceptional in the form that his passions are utterly base, as I said. Finishing the manga, I never really understood what motivated Kakinuma.
Right.
Whereas Woo Jin's motivations are foully obvious.
Right.
I have some quotes.
Okay.
The production designer Ryu Seung-hee in an interview said, "The plan was we'd read the comic, then make a great film noir with the story." The director said, "Let's make a film that gives that enjoyable experience that only a film can give."
Yeah.
When asked about when asked in the 2008 interview why he didn't use more elements of the Japanese manga, or at least why the character of Woo Jin is not more like the character of Kakinuma, Park replied, "Because the Japanese story comes from Japanese culture, I couldn't use it." Fair enough. And I have one more quote about how difficult this film was to watch.
Okay.
Wonderful, but challenging and exhausting almost. Someone, I think, mentioned this in that 2003 classroom discussion with Parker. He replied, along this theme, "I don't know how people can find any fun in watching mindless films. If you want to have a peaceful rest, have a bath. I want a tiring film."
Great. Okay, please like, rate, review, subscribe on whatever platform you use to listen to the show. You can contact us through the email address, which is in the show notes, or you can send us a DM or leave a message or whatever on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, YouTube, or Reddit. All those links are in the show notes as well. And please join our Patreon at patreon.com/comicbookmovieoblivion, all one word. Next week, we're going to be doing the Spike Lee Oldboy.
We are.
Which came 10 years after this.
We're skipping the Indian adaptation that occurred in
I
2006.
think it was a rip. I think
The Indian rip-off.
it.
we may cover it on Bizarro Comic Book Movie.
Yeah. Is there anything else to say about the 2013? I haven't seen it. Unlike this one.
I haven't seen it.
I've only heard
bad things about it.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
It's going to be interesting because they're not going to be ad-libbing. Well, they could, but like all the dog stuff, are they just going to copy what somebody else ad-libbed? I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
So tune in next week.
It'll be a shorter episode.
Yes.